Welcome to Hojo Radio.
Welcome, William Bendix.
Nobody can act up to par with a nasty cold. I check my cold distress the fast way, with 4-way cold tablets.
Yes, tests of 4 leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting of all. Amazing 4-way starts in minutes to relieve aches, pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
4-way is the fast way to relieve those cold miseries. Then you feel better quickly.
4-way cold tablets, only 29 and 59 cents.
Good evening. This is Crime Classics. I am Thomas Hyland. I'm going to tell you another true crime story. Listen. In the county of Suffolk, the willow grows green, and there was once a smithy. His name was Edmund Thrower. He was a powerful man who could make the anvil shudder and spring sparks into shadows cast by the willow. He made horseshoes. He mended scullery ware. He made hammers to drive nails, to mend shoes, to bludgeon people to death. And tonight, my report to you on the dread events surrounding Mr. Thrower's hammer.
Crime Classics, a series of true crime stories taken from the records and newspapers of every land, from every time. Your host each week, Mr. Thomas Hyland, connoisseur of crime, student of violence, teller of murders. Now, once again, Thomas Hyland.
I should like to pose a conundrum. Of course, I already know its answer, but it took history 11 years to solve it. But was this puzzle solved? Well, perhaps. It has some interesting ingredients. A man hung for stealing a heifer, a gypsy, a chap who cut ling for a living, a young woman dead across a gooseberry bush, and the mending of a shoe on a wet day. Now, was ever a puzzle so tweaking? It happened in 1793, and there are 2 versions as to how it started. Version 1. Scene, Shotford Heath in Weybread, Suffolk, and a man is driving sheep to town.
Oh, no. Enough of cud, beastie. On to town with us, come on.
Oh!
Oh!
Rest your flock a while, shepherd. We've some ruby red wine.
Aye, wine would be clever.
Tilt the skin for him, gypsy. Give the shepherd a drink.
Aye. Very clever, and ruby red. To whom be I beholden?
I be Gypsy Dick.
I am John Head.
Thank ye. I be Edmund Thrower.
They call me friend here gypsy because he does things gypsy-like. He touches the winds and says who will die in the next town. He looks at the hand of a man and tells whatever.
Struth?
Gypsy Dick will show you.
Oh, I have no money.
No silver from the palm of a shepherd. Give me your hand. Willow, willow, shining dim, hang down your little cattykin.
Well?
John Head, do you see what I see in the shepherd's palm? Look here. 10 pounds in golden coins for the future.
Then it shall be. There, shepherd Thrower. 10 pounds in your palm, like the gypsy said.
Thank ye.
Gypsy.
Aye.
What else do you see?
Before you covered his palm with gold, I saw the shepherd waiting here while we went into yon house.
For 10 pounds? That be all you want me to do?
Aye, and give the alarm if you see anyone coming.
You be thieves.
Especially if you see a constable coming, give the alarm.
And the 10 pound be mine?
Indeed.
Oh, I will scream my lungs out if anyone approaches.
I could see it in your palm. Come, John Head.
Aye.
The last there, leaning over the gooseberry bush. The hammer, John Head.
Aye.
Quietly, quietly.
Aye. Our dear old daddy would grieve if he found his daughter so.
Look, through the window. Her father sleeps in a chair. Quietly, quietly.
Aye.
A father and his daughter were just bludgeoned to death. Their names? Thomas and Elizabeth Carter. They owned a small house on the outskirts of the village of Cratfield in Suffolk, and they kept a small shop of tasties and oddments. In the evenings, they had often been seen walking in the garden, now stopping to sniff a rose, now pausing to pluck marigold, now lifting their cheeks to the setting sun. That they were murdered, there is no doubt. As to the manner in which they were murdered, you have just looked in on version 1. Now for version 2. Scene: a rainy day in the town of Swaffham. A ling cutter, that is, one devoted to hewing common heather, sits at his stall and mends his shoe.
Oh, but it be wet outside. And foul.
The ling likes the damp. It keeps its colour.
And fine-looking ling it be, John Head.
I'll fill your arms with it, Thrower, if you'll give me a moment to fix this shoe. A pox on this hammer.
Listen, John Head. Fix the sole of your shoe, but do not sell me ling. I look for lodgings.
For the night or for the while? Oh, ruddy hammer.
Yeah, you be using broken hammer to mend shoe.
'Tis the only hammer I have.
I will make you a trade, John Head.
How?
I have a hammer here in my kit. This hammer.
Oh, 'tis a hammer indeed.
A trade. The hammer for the lodging.
A trade?
And it be a special hammer. You know it?
Special?
Aye. With this same hammer, I beat in the head of one Mr. Carter. And his daughter, too.
Oh, and that would make it a special hammer indeed.
They were poke noses.
What?
Mr. Carter and his daughter, they poked their long noses into what did not concern them.
Aye, and for that you hammered them, eh?
For that, indeed. You will notice I am not with my wife. The Mr. Carter and his daughter spoke to my wife and told her to go off with someone else, and my wife did.
'Tis a real cruelty. Will you want the same room, Mr. Thrower?
The two versions of how the Carters, father and daughter, met their respective ends. Version 1, Gypsy Dick and John Head did it. Version 2, Edmund Thrower did it. In any event, the Carters were discovered the next morning lifeless. And, as we well know in these times, the things that were raised were hues and cries. Also, there was much scurrying and running about and clamor. But all this fell upon the stillness of the Suffolk heath. There were seasons and rainy days and days of sunshine and heather, and the ling cutters came and went, and the sheep became coats and mutton, and a certain gooseberry bush bloomed lovely, and berries died unpicked. And somewhere far away, a gypsy with the unlikely name of Dick held a palm and said this:
Willow, willow, shining dim, hang down your little catechin.
And picked a pocket. There were seasons and there were years. 11 years. Mr. Thrower was now a blacksmith among the willows. Mr. John Head was now a convict among the vermin and the lice of Ipswich jail. Mr. Head had committed a felony. He had robbed a sailor. His sentence hadn't been passed yet, but his cellmates had.
John Head.
What is it, Saunders?
I can't sleep.
You'll sleep for long in a few hours.
They say that on the gallows sleep is slow to come, that it's painful. Unless you have a friend to hold down your legs, then death is quick.
If they will let me, I will do it for you, Saunders.
Oh, thank you.
Seems to me...
What?
Cruel. Death.
What I did was cruel. To steal a heifer is cruel and deserves death. I knew it when I stole it. And you'll die, too.
You stole a heifer. I but robbed a sailor.
My brother robbed a sailor. He was hung and he was given to the surgeons. You'll die. 'Tis odd.
What?
Once before there was a time like this. Once before they would hang me.
Why?
Long ago, 10 years or so, 11, they took me from a public house where I'd laid drunk and told me I'd killed a man and his daughter, that I'd knocked their heads in with a hammer.
About 11 years ago?
Aye. But then I was let free. They decided I didn't do it.
And where was this?
In Cratfield in Suffolk.
And the name of the man? And the name of the daughter?
Oh, I can't remember.
Nor I. Carter!
Carter? 'Twas the name. How did you know?
Carter! Saunders, lad.
What?
If they will let me do it, I will hold down your legs and pull hard on them, and you will die quick.
Oh, thank you.
And something else, Saunders, lad. The gibbet here at Ipswich will not get me for a long time yet. I don't die, not soon, Saunders, lad.
Straw is a useful commodity. Under various conditions, it is used for sleeping upon, for making bricks, for making hats, handbags, baskets, and in single units, it is excellent for breaking a camel's back. Straw is also used to clutch. It was this latter proclivity that John Head utilized. A straw, a chance to get out of there. So, this is what he did.
Jailer! Jailer!
He yelled. He banged on bars.
Jailer! Jailer!
He yelled some more. He got the jailer's attention.
I know a murder that's been committed, and I'll tell you all about it. Their names were Thomas and Elizabeth Carter.
And he was led to the warden.
And they was father and daughter, Your Honor, Warden. And their heads was bashed in.
And John Head was then led to Mr. Oldershaw, a magistrate.
It was 11 years ago, sir, in Cratfield in Suffolk.
Why have you waited this long to say anything of it?
I was just reminded of it.
By whom?
By a laddie whom you will hang this evening. His name is Saunders. I shared his cell.
And his gibbet, too, if this be a story for cocks and bulls.
Droot, I tell you, I know the murderer. The true murderer.
Who is he?
A man named Edmund Thrower. He himself told me of the killings. He even wished to give me the hammer with which he killed. I thought the story was a joke, but now I know it was not. And I remembered.
Very well. Tell me about this Edmund Thrower and the murder of a father and a daughter.
It was like this, your worship. It was a rainy day, and I had me a little shop.
What kind of a shop?
Ling. And I was sitting there mending a shoe with a broken hammer.
And John Head proceeded to tell the magistrate version 2 of the double murder. You remember the one where Thrower offered Head a hammer, the very one he confessed with which he had committed the crime? The result of John Head's story, he was not hanged, and a search was begun for Edmund Thrower. Now that's really making the most out of straws, isn't it?
You are listening to Crime Classics and your host, Thomas Hyland. I guess we can all relax now. Since Arthur Godfrey told the nation he was going away for some surgery, the phone operators have been busy trying to answer the questions about when he'll be back. Things are normal now, though. It's August, and Arthur's back on his Monday through Friday daytime show and on the Talent Scouts Monday evenings. Most of these same CBS radio stations bring you Godfrey, so be listening for him next time round. And now, once again, Thomas Hyland in the second act of Crime Classics and his report to you on Mr. Thrower's Hammer.
England in 1804. It was a peaceful time for England. They didn't have the colonies to worry about anymore. And on the boards of the theaters, a play called Heels Up was all the rage. Also, the towns were getting accustomed to the sight of red Indians from America walking the streets. And it was the year when Lady Gwen Fitzmorue rode to hounds one day and showed up a week later in Paris, thereby rocking the world from the Bay of Bundy to the Mediterranean. Too, it was during the reign of King George, and for the most part, except for losing the colonies, George's reign was acceptable. Generally speaking, a pleasant time in England. In Suffolk now, however, there was a stir. Something about a double murder committed 11 years before. Memories and records were tapped, and sure enough, on a spring day in the year of 1793, Mr. Thomas Carter and his daughter Elizabeth had been hammered to death, one in his chair, the other over a gooseberry bush. The most fruitful tapping of memory was John Head's, who remembered that it was Edmund Thrower who did it. But Mr. Thrower was nowhere to be found. Observe now a coincidence of history.
Another tankard of ale, Mr. Fox.
Thank you, Oldershaw, no. Just this pipe and to relax. Drink away if you like it, though. Don't mind me.
No, enough for me, too. Pass me the taper.
Aye, here.
It's good tobacco you brought from London town. What kind is it?
Virginia. Equally fine in the pipe or the nose. I'll send you a packet.
Aye, and thanks to you. Your business accomplished in Ipswich, Mr. Fox?
Aye. A matter of a legacy.
Some lucky people have legacies. Would that you would deliver me one.
And what would you do, Oldershaw?
Take a frigate to America. You've been to America, have you not, Mr. Fox?
Aye.
Is it true about Kentucky, Mr. Fox?
I would not know. I never got out of Virginia. As a matter of fact, though, the woman to whom I delivered the legacy plans to go to America, too. Mrs. Thrower.
Thrower, did you say?
Aye, Mrs. Edmund Thrower.
And where in Ipswich did you find her?
In a cardboard house on Pretty Prentice Lane. She is a gatherer and a seller of kindling wood. It took me a year to find her.
And I've been looking for her husband for 6 months now.
Her husband? Why?
For 2 murders.
I am quite sure that Mrs. Thrower knows where her husband is.
Oh?
This legacy I brought to her, the papers had to be signed by both her and her husband. She took the papers from me and brought them back a few days later and signed by Edmund Thrower.
Pretty Prentice Lane.
A cardboard house, and on the door it says, kindling for sale. Well, shall we enjoy one more tankard, Mr. Oldershaw? Oh, surely you're not going to Pretty Prentice Lane at this hour. Good night, Oldershaw.
Hello, mister.
I'm of the police.
What you want?
Are you Mrs. Edmund Thrower?
I be.
Where's your husband?
What you want to know for?
There's a crime I was told he did.
Cool.
A terrible crime.
Of what manner?
Murder.
To whom?
A Mr. Thomas Carter and...
Elizabeth?
That's right.
Oh.
What's the matter?
Oh, such a sweet family. The man and his daughter. Ah, well, I remember them. And Edmund it was who killed him?
With a hammer, 'tis said.
Ah, a brutal way. For such gentle people, that is.
You knew them well?
Oft Elizabeth would fill me apron with gooseberries. And oft she'd tell me of my husband.
Oh?
What a terrible man he was. How I should leave him.
Why?
He was a tweaker and a scoundrel.
With other women, you mean?
Aye.
With Elizabeth?
Under her own dad's nose.
Did you believe her?
I saw with me own eyes. Mr. Carter and myself, we hid and we watched. And one day Edmund drove his sheep by and stopped into the house of the Carters. Oh, he was a tweaker. I left him.
Did he try to find you to bring you back?
He told all of Suffolk how he wanted me back. How he missed me. And me tripe pudding. And the sweetness I was. And he found me. But I likes my freedom. I said...
What?
Edmund, tweaker, I likes my freedom. And it's plain to see you know what to do with yours, so let's keep it that way. Mister, you know what he did?
What?
He blew into his fist and slammed it down onto the table and swore he'd get even.
Where can I find him?
He's a smithy now, you know.
No, I did not.
Over in Carbrook. There's a line of willows. You'll find Edmund there, smithying. You know what? He didn't tell me nothing about putting the hammer to them nice people.
Edmund Thrower?
Yes?
I am a magistrate of the law. You will come with me. Thrower?
Yes, Your Honor, Magistrate.
How do you fare in your cell?
Tolerably, sir.
I'll listen to your story now, Thrower.
Yes, sir. I am a smithy, and I have been a smithy for the past year now. And before...
No, of the murder of the Carters, of why I have explained to you that you are here.
Very happy to. I can remember everything.
Good.
In March 1792, I was discharged from the Navy and went to work for Mr. Potter at Stradbrook and helping him to fetch and carry sheep about.
Till when?
Oh, till Michaelmas 1793. Sometime after March 1793, as I was going over Shotford Heath in Weybridge, Suffolk, I was overtaken by a man called John Head and one called Gypsy Dick. One of them had a skin ruby red wine.
And so it was that Edmund Thrower told version number 1. This is the version wherein John Head and Gypsy Dick were supposed to have committed that double murder. And so we come now to the final playing out of the conundrum I posed for you a while ago, and whose elements have been displayed for you. Jurisprudence now and the English law. Edmund Thrower was brought to trial. I have a copy here of the original indictment, and I'd like to read it to you. Edmund Thrower, 58 years of age, not having the fear of God before his eyes, but instigated by the devil, feloniously, willfully, maliciously, and with malice aforethought, made an assault on Elizabeth Carter at Cratfield in the county of Suffolk on the 16th day of October in the 33rd year of the present reign, in and upon the body of the said Elizabeth Carter, and with a certain hammer, then and therewith, did strike the said Elizabeth divers mortal wounds upon the head, of which she died, against the statute and against the king's peace. At this trial, Magistrate Oldershaw presided.
Edmund Thrower, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Then a second indictment was read concerning the murder of Thomas, father of Elizabeth Carter.
Edmund Thrower, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Then, from almost nowhere, a man who went by the name of Gypsy Dick was sworn and took the stand and made a statement. He told where he lived.
At Crutfield.
And did he recollect the murder?
Oh, yes. I was walking in Shotford Heath on the morning of the murder. It was about 9 o'clock when my attention was excited. I heard a sharp woman's shriek, and I said to myself, I have heard a woman shriek, and it was enough to stun anybody.
And more?
I saw a man running, or walking quick, when I got to the 4 crossways from Cotter's house, and I made a kind of halt when he was before me. He went over a stile on the left hand of Crutfield Green, and it was a very bright morning, and I could see the man well. And it was that man sitting over there who is called Edmund Thrower.
So the case was given to the jury, who deliberated 35 minutes. Guilty. And sentence was passed.
Edmund Thrower, you have been tried and convicted by an impartial jury of your country of a most foul and cruel murder. A murder on an inoffensive poor girl who gave you no provocation, and of her aged father, too, in the moments of quietude. The motives which led to that murder are best known to God and your own conscience. Therefore, it behooves you to make your peace with him, before whose awful tribunal you must appear. You will be removed from hence to the place from whence you came, and from thence to a place of execution on Monday next, where you will be hanged by the neck until you are dead, and your body afterwards will be delivered to the surgeons, and the Lord Almighty receive your soul.
It took history 11 years to solve the puzzle, but was it solved? As a student of crime, I'm not sure, nor should you be. But one thing is certain. In the county of Suffolk, the willow grows green, and from one of them there hung a smithy.
In just a moment, Thomas Hyland will tell you about next week's crime classic. Mr. Thrower's Hammer, tonight's crime classic, was adapted from the original court reports and newspaper accounts by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The music was composed and conducted by Bernard Herrmann, and the program is produced and directed by Elliott Lewis. Thomas Hyland is portrayed on radio by Lou Merrill. In tonight's story, William Johnstone was heard as Mr. Thrower. Featured in the cast were Eric Snowden, Jay Novello, Joseph Kearns, Paula Winslow, Tudor Owen, and Alastair Duncan. Bob Lamont speaking. And here again is Thomas Hyland.
Next week, a certain house in the Heidelberg Township in Pennsylvania. Since 1795, the tenants of that house have been unable to remove the blood from the floorboards. My report to you will be on the Axe and the Droot Family, how they fared. Thank you. Good night.
In the wide open spaces east of Hollywood, some people forget that there's a university where men actually study in Hollywood. Later this evening on CBS Radio, you'll meet screen star Joseph Cotton as one of them, a professor who meets an intriguing young woman on a bus and begins to learn from her. It's a charming tale entitled Romance to a Degree, so be listening for it when, on most of these same stations later this evening, the Lux Summer Theater stars Joseph Cotton. Stay tuned now for Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts, which follows immediately over most of these same stations.
In every Chevrolet showroom across America, More and more people are looking at the car that's just out and just wonderful. The 1957 Chevrolet. Some are looking at Chevrolet's daring new front-end styling, the bold new grille, big, beautiful sloping hood. Some are looking at Chevy's handsome new rear end with high-fashion fenders and fresh new design. Everyone's enthused about the new color-fashioned interiors and the sleek command post instrument panel. And the biggest news of all, Chevrolet's fuel injection.
Hojo Radio, we're your old-time radio headquarters. Stay tuned.
Good evening. This is Crime Classics. I am Thomas Hyland. I'm going to tell you another true crime story. Listen. A man writing. Listen closely because it's a quiet sound, an intimate sound. The year is 1795, and the man who is doing this quiet, intimate thing is named Peter Droot. He is writing his will, making with goose quill and parchment his bequest to his children. When he is done, unknowingly he will have made certain the death of his two sons. And now he is done. Now he has made certain. And tonight, my report to you on the Axe and the Droot family, how they fared.
Crime Classics, a series of true crime stories taken from the records and newspapers of every land from every time. Your host each week, Mr. Thomas Hyland, connoisseur of crime, student of violence, and teller of murders. Now, once again, Thomas Hyland.
The place is Heidelberg Township, Dauphin County, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. During the closing years of the 18th century, Heidelberg snuggled against a bend of the Susquehanna. Its chief product was people, who were sent downstream to Harrisburg and overland to Philadelphia. So great was the margin of export over import that I can no longer locate Heidelberg Township on a very good map of Pennsylvania. However, during the time that it flourished, it was noted chiefly for its rocks, which were used all over the county to build churches, sheds, barns, and gravestones. The Droot family lived in a stone house, and Peter Droot was so wealthy that he was buried in a coffin imported from Bavaria, which was decorated with cherubs painted on porcelain and other sad scenes. His shroud was of genuine black Westphalian lace. His lawyer was of 100% Saxony stock and came from Philadelphia.
And to my daughter Elizabeth, I, Peter Droot, do will and bequeath the sum of £1,000. However, the sums I have already advanced to her in the amount of £800 shall be considered a part of this legacy. And to my sons, Francis and Peter, I leave the residue of my estate. But in the event of the death of either of my sons, without issue...
And his daughter Elizabeth, pure product of Heidelberg Township, was moved.
Some father I had, to leave to his own true daughter a measly £200.
You have done a deception to me.
Deception? How?
To tell me you were the favorite of the old man's children and would inherit the money. This is deception, to get me to be the husband of you.
John.
What?
I did not mean to deceive you.
Get thee away.
I begged you to believe me. Get thee from the chair and take my hand.
The likes of you, a spouse to the likes of me.
I'm sorry.
I said it, Elizabeth. Get thee away.
That vile man, that father to me, to have done this to his daughter, that I have to wait until the death of my brothers to get to his wealth. That I have to wait until the death of my brothers to get to his wealth. That I have to wait until the death of my brothers.
Yes, I heard it.
And that as each one of them would die, I would get £500.
Yes, I heard it. Elizabeth.
What, husband?
How well do you love your brothers?
Francis is the oldest, and I can recall one day at the quarry when he struck me with a stone. this scar,
And the younger one, Peter.
who was named for my father, and as cruel as my father, and who became my father's favorite in my stead, who once called me a name I shall never forget.
Were they to die?
I am sister to them. I should weep. In your arms, husband. And you would make me smile again.
Smile now.
In your arms.
Yes.
John and Elizabeth Howard, Pennsylvanian lovers. He, a stonemason who had more epitaphs at the tip of his chisel than any stonemason in the county. She, noted for her scar and her elderberry jelly. The old man just growing chill in his coffin from Bavaria. And John and Elizabeth, daughter and son-in-law, were getting ready to lay the rest of the family beside him.
I think we should start with the younger one first.
Why, whatever are you talking about?
He's better off dead than alive, anyhow.
Why, whatever are you talking about? Put me down. Put me down.
John put Elizabeth down and got on his horse. He rode to Harrisburg at a clip which can only be described as furious. Now in Harrisburg there lived a friend of his, an elderly gentleman who distilled things and bottled them. It is said that this gentleman could do a thing with toadstools and snake venom that you wouldn't believe. The gentleman, whose name is recorded in state annals as Uncle Hess der Kleine, was finally ducked in a pond for 12 minutes by the authorities. Well, John bought a few ounces of an essence from Uncle Hess and rode back to Heidelberg Township. And the next day, in the stone quarry, this is what happened.
And how is your brother Francis these days, Peter, lad?
I don't see much of him these days.
He's busy counting his money, I suppose, and yours.
He is a farmer. He farms.
A question, lad.
Aye, John?
Have you had the fancies lately?
How do you know about that?
Your sister, lad. She told me. How since a lad you have been seeing strangies and ghosties and whatnot.
And what of it?
Nothing, lad. Nothing.
It is true that I have been visited.
And me, too. Last week I was lying beneath the stars near the barn. And there was a wailing, and I look about me. Such a beautiful fancy she was. And she was crying.
Go on, John.
Of such beauty. And I reached out my hands to her, and her image was smoke.
Wondrous.
I can see her any time I wish it.
How?
I have a thing here, a potion, a small bottle of it, prepared specially to lie under the stars to see this wondrous, beautiful lady.
Was she indeed so beautiful?
I am unschooled. I have not the words for her beauty.
Please.
What, lad?
Give me of that vial. Let me taste.
She stirs your imagination, lad.
Yes, oh yes.
You can almost see her in your mind now, can you not?
Even while you talk, I try to imagine her. Please, give me of the vial.
Here, drink it.
Yes.
All of it. Good lad. Tonight, lie down under the stars and see what will happen to you.
Thank you, John.
The bottle is good no longer. Throw it away, lad.
Poor lad. 18 years old and given to fancies. Now, all of us know that many lads of 18, even today, are given to fancies. But young Peter Droot was very rich and lived in Pennsylvania, and it was a rare moment indeed when he wasn't beginning or ending a fancy. And, too, This, we must remember, was the era of potions to conjure up most anything, from rain to a lady made of smoke. So, young Peter Droot had everything going for him that night: youth, imagination, and potion. He went out under the stars and lay down near the barn, just like his brother-in-law told him to do. What happened then may be described as a good night in the country gone to waste.
Oh! Oh, my stomach! Ooh! My stomach! My stomach! My stomach! Oh! Oh!
That rooster crowing really upset schedules in old Heidelberg Township that night. People and animals looked out of the window and wondered what ailed that rooster anyhow. It was too early to get out of bed and too late to go back to sleep, so they gave ear to the commotion. Through the din rose the wails of Peter Droot, who had seen no fancies but was writhing with a terrible ache in his stomach. His brother Francis brought him back to the house and applied an old Pennsylvania poultice, which relieved the lad no end. So, the next morning, in the stone quarry...
And all that happened, John, was an ache right here. A grievous ache.
Poor lad. Lad.
Yes?
When you lay yourself down under the stars, which way were you facing?
Toward the east. Toward Bruder Gansel's farm.
I should have told you.
I did it wrong?
Oh, 'tis my fault. You faced the wrong way. However, come here. Walk with me. Sit yourself down here by this pile of rocks.
Here?
To your left a wee bit. Very good. Now close your eyes and think hard.
Of what?
Of beautiful things. And silently I will say a magical thing. And I will go from you a little and behind you. Peter, keep closed your eyes.
Say it. Say the magical thing.
Aye, right now. Men, all of you, the lad Peter Droot is buried beneath the rocks. He is dead.
No. No, I am not. The slide of rocks did not touch me. I heard their sound and I leaped and
What a relief it is to me. Oh, how happy I am.
But why have we come here, John? To the loft of the barn?
I have another way to show you the fancy.
How?
This rope I have here tied to the rafter. Place it about your neck.
Very well. Do not let me fall, for the rope is not long enough to reach the floor.
Is the rope tight enough about your neck now, lad?
Tight enough? For what?
For this!
John? The rope broke, John. Please don't be frightened. I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt at all.
And as long as Peter stayed alive, John couldn't collect any of the legacy, which is why John sat in a hayloft, head in hand, and pondered. Then John thought about an axe, and he pondered no more.
You are listening to Crime Classics and your host, Thomas Hyland. Patrolman Kirk reported in from Box 23 at 1:42, on time to the minute. His next call was to come from Post 7. He never made it. When they finally found him, he had been shot to death. Was it suicide or murder? The steady, detailed work the real police do will again be evident on CBS Radio's 21st Precinct tomorrow evening as the world's largest police force tackles the case of Patrolman Kirk and Post 7. 21st Precinct is broadcast on most of these same stations. Be at Post 7 tomorrow. And now, once again, Thomas Hyland and the second act of Crime Classics, and his report to you on the Axe and the Droot family, how they fared.
A few notes about Pennsylvania as it neared the end of the 18th century. It was already a state to be reckoned with. General Washington had camped there during the winter of 1777-78 at a place known as Valley Forge. In the town of Chester, Mad Anthony Wayne drilled his troops in an unusual manner in the courthouse square. The western part of the state was rife with forests, game, trout streams, and beneath it, the silent flow of oil, to be discovered 50 years later in Titusville, of all places. A dominion of wealth, discovered and as yet undiscovered, of history, made and as yet unmade. To prove my point, a person by the name of Barbara Fritchie, who was born in Old Heidelberg Township, had not quite yet been born. But across the street from the house where Barbara would first see the light of day, where her grubby little fingers would reach for her first needle, across the street lived John and Elizabeth Hauer, man and wife. As is our prerogative, let's look in on them.
The rope broke.
What a pity.
It seems I can't kill him. Something always goes wrong.
You always were a hasty man, ruin things.
In the barn this morning, I did everything neatly.
The rope broke.
It was a new rope.
And both of my brothers still live.
I thought of something.
And both of my brothers still live. And both of my brothers still live.
Would you listen, spouse?
I
thought of an axe.
And what did you think of an axe?
How it can smash things.
What things?
Tables.
And cups.
Chairs.
And chickens.
And skulls.
And skulls. And husband?
What?
Will you do it?
It will be done.
By whom? By you?
By a man I know and his friend.
And after it's done, what shall I have?
You will have no brothers.
And in their stead?
Money.
Husband.
Yes?
Lift me, spin me around.
Aye? What is it? To talk with you, Charles.
Come in, man. To talk with me?
Aye. Where's your friend, Patrick?
Has the talk money in it?
Aye.
Before or after the occasion?
A little before and much after.
Patrick, wake. Wake. Wake, Patrick. There's money in it. John Hall.
Aye.
Come into here.
Good evening to you, Patrick.
Now, John Hall, speak to the both of us.
My wife's brothers are alive. If they were to die, my dear wife would receive all of their money.
And, is this the end of it?
A very great sum of money.
And?
And this axe I have brought...
It cuts deep.
Aye.
Well, Patrick? Well, John Howard? Wait. It is enough. For now. Patrick, get out of bed, man.
There were frontiers in those days. As a matter of fact, our country was more frontier than anything else. And the people, those who survived, were the fittest. I would like to describe two fit people of the time. Charles McManus.
Which is my name. I am 42 years old. I stand 6 inches above 5 feet, and my weight is close to 200 pounds. Once in Killarney, I killed a man with my fists. I fled to America. In New York, I killed again, with my fist. I fled to the backwoods of Pennsylvania.
Patrick Donegan.
That's me. I am much too slight to kill with my fists. I must have steel in my hand. There was a woman in Donegal County. Her death brought me here, where I am now.
Very fit persons indeed. Killers, and attuned to the wilderness. They moved quietly.
The older one sleeps there, he said. Hold him, Patrick. And the young one sleeps in there, he said. Hold him, Patrick.
Are you a fancy?
Now we can go.
Now I'll do the dancing.
Come to me. Come to me.
They are dead. They are dead.
Outside the night is warm.
And there is moon.
And there will be us.
Gently. In a moment. John, hold me. Hold.
They came, the townspeople, and they knocked on the door of John Hauer and his wife Elizabeth. And they brought him and his wife to the house where Peter and Francis Droot were lying. Elizabeth fell down upon the floor and wept bitterly. John sat down and made no remark. And this is the tableau, 1 hour after the murder had been committed. And the townspeople had found that nothing had been plundered from the house. And the townspeople knew that only John and Elizabeth would profit from the death of the brothers. And an axe had been found, and a townsman knew it to be the axe of John Hauer. Then John Hauer made a remark.
I did not do it.
Then they asked him who did do it.
2 murderers.
2, they asked him. How do you know it was 2, John?
I hired them.
Hi, what is it?
So now it is, Charles. Open.
Who are all these people? What people have you brought with you?
The man holding the torch there is Ebner. By his side and holding another torch is George. And the next to him, neighbors and neighbors and neighbors. They have come after you and after Patrick.
For what?
For what you have done.
For what?
For the murder of the brothers of my wife.
You hired us, John.
I told them that.
Patrick, wake up.
In June 1798, a trial was made charging the three men and Elizabeth Howard with murder.
I have never been one whose life has been governed by the lust for money. Only love and sweet solicitude for my husband. If it has been my husband's immodesty to have committed murder, I do love him still.
I committed no murder.
He committed no murder, he says. He gave me an axe. He gave me money. I returned them and said, do your dirty work yourself. Didn't I, Patrick?
As sure as you're born. I heard you refuse the man distinct, and I heard him muttering that he'd do it himself.
Gentlemen of the jury, as your judge, I now charge you. The murder of Peter and Francis Droot rouses the indignation of the county. Its atrocity is unequaled by anything of the kind hitherto known in Pennsylvania. The execution of the murders was as horrid as the motives were base and groveling. The keenest sensations must arise in the minds of all good men and worthy citizens.
The judge then went into particular detail of all the evidence that had been given and committed the case to the jury at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. At 7 o'clock in the evening, they returned a verdict. John Howard, guilty. Charles McManus, guilty. Patrick Donegan, guilty. Elizabeth Howard, not guilty.
I'm pleased. I'm so pleased. Goodbye, my husband.
The guilty were all of them hanged on Saturday, July 14th, 1798. Elizabeth Howard mourned for a respectable interval, then married again to one Obed Fanistock. The Fanistocks moved to Maryland, to the growing community of Cumberland, where they bought a house and a well and sold water to settlers moving west. And it all happened in old Heidelberg Township, which I can no longer find on the map.
In just a moment, Thomas Hyland will tell you about next week's crime classic. The Droot Family, tonight's crime classic, was adapted from the original court reports and newspaper accounts by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The music was composed and conducted by Bernard Herrmann, and the program is produced and directed by Elliott Lewis. Thomas Hyland is portrayed on radio by Lou Merrill. In tonight's story, Mary Jane Croft was heard as Elizabeth and Clayton Post as John. Featured in the cast were Herb Butterfield, Sam Edwards, Paul Frees, and Charles Davis. George Walsh speaking. And here again is Thomas Hyland.
Next week, San Francisco Bay, midway between Oakland and San Francisco, on board the good ferry El Capitan. The year is 1870, and the events are catastrophic, as I report to you on the incredible trial of Laura D. Fair. Thank you. Good night.
Academy Award winner Joan Fontaine will be your star in Leave Her to Heaven on Lux Summer Theater on CBS Radio later tonight. You'll enjoy this celebrated story of a ruthless woman who destroys the things she loves, and you like Joan Fontaine in this dramatic role. That's Leave Her to Heaven, starring Joan Fontaine, later tonight on the Lux Summer Theater Show on most of these same stations. And remember, Bill Cullen's Walk a Mile show is heard Monday evenings on the CBS Radio Network.
Billy Brown, the smoothest, coolest guy in town. The chicks all seem to dig his jive. Hey, tell us, Bill, how can we arrive? It's easy, Jack. Any gal gets sent. When you flash a smile by Pepsodent, you'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent.
Pepsodent's new improved formula cleans teeth whiter than ever. Tastes brighter, too. New formula Pepsodent contains IMP. There's nothing else as good at getting teeth white.
You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent.
Stay tuned to Hojo Radio.
Gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
NBC brings you Dragnet. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to a homicide detail. A man's wife has suddenly dropped from sight. On the surface, it appears only as a routine missing persons case. You start to investigate. Suspicion grows. There is evidence of possible foul play. Your job, find the woman or find her murderer.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. Investigated and solved by the men who unrelentingly stand watch on the security of your home, your family, and your life. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, September 15th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working a day watch out of homicide. My partner's Ben Romero. The boss is Ed Backstrand, chief of detectives. My name's Friday. I was on the way back from lunch, and it was 12:56 when I got to room 42. Homicide.
Hi, Joe. Waiting for you.
Hiya, Ben. Al.
Hi.
I hear you got something for us.
Here's a report right here. Gardener by the name of Eric Kelby called in day before yesterday. Said his wife disappeared from their home out in the valley Sunday night. Says he thinks she left him.
That happens every day, Barghetti.
Not this way, it doesn't. Walsh and I went out yesterday to interview the guy. Story doesn't add.
Why not?
None of her clothes are missing. None of her luggage. She even left her pocketbook behind, full of money. Found out from the neighbors a missing woman is a 17-year-old boy by a former marriage.
So what?
An only child. Mother dotes on the kid. Shouldn't even say goodbye to him.
How did this Eric Kelby impress you?
Pretty grouchy with Walsh and me. No cooperation.
Wants to find his wife, doesn't he?
I don't know if he does or not. There's no help, I'll tell you that.
Can I see that report a minute now?
Oh, here you are.
Agnes Trumbull Kelby, age 39.
Kelby's her second husband. First one died a little after the boy was born.
Mm-hmm. Disappeared Sunday night from her home, 546 Belasco Road, between 7 and 8 o'clock. When did Kelby call in?
Monday afternoon. Said he thought his wife might be spending the night with her sister. When he found out she wasn't, he called us.
Did you meet the boy while you were out there, Borghetti?
Yeah, that's another thing. Kid came riding in on a bike while we were talking to one of the neighbors. Tried to talk to him, but the old man came out, hustled him inside the house. Then he starts eating us out.
What'd he say?
Told us it was our job to find his wife, not to go prying into his stepson's affairs.
Well, that's a new slant. How about her friends and relatives around here, Al? Any besides her sister?
Walsh located a couple of her aunts. I don't think he's checked them yet, though. I'll tell you, boys, this is one I'll bet on.
Maybe. You got the names of Mrs. Kelby's relatives?
Oh, yeah. Right over here. Sure wish we had a chance to talk to that boy.
Yeah. How's it feel to you, Ben?
I don't know.
Notice anything else funny about the guy, Al?
I don't know. Well, here's those names, Joe.
Thanks.
Kelby was upset, all right. For some reason, he didn't strike me as reacting the way a normal guy reacts when his wife disappears.
All right, Al. How would you react? Barghetti's worrying again.
Oh, now listen, boys. It's no fooling matter. This is one I'll bet on. It's a homicide.
All right. How about a copy of this report?
Yeah, where'll I get the phone? Missing person spaghetti. Who's that? Oh, yes. Yes. About what? Oh, sure. All right, son. 4:00. Yeah. Goodbye. That was Kelby's stepson.
What do you want?
Thinks something's happened to his mother.
In police work, missing persons detail is not a department separate in itself. It is organized as a part of the Homicide Bureau. According to Barghetti, who took the call, the boy said he suspected his stepfather, and he didn't want him to know of any meeting between him and police officers. He would meet the officers that afternoon at 4 p.m. in a restaurant on the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Fairfax Avenue. At 3:15, Ben and I left the office and drove out to the meeting place, the Dairyland Fountain and Coffee Shop. We arrived there at 3:45. At 8 minutes to 5, the Kelby boy still had not arrived.
Youngster's not very prompt.
Let's wait a little while longer.
Yeah. Smoke?
Yeah, thanks.
Want some more coffee?
No, thanks. Well, I guess the boy isn't going to show.
Think something's happened?
15 minutes after we left the coffee shop, we drove up in front of the gate of the Kelby Nursery on Belasco Road. The house itself was set well back on the property, which covered about 4 acres. The entire nursery was surrounded by a 6-foot steel wire fence, and it looked like almost every available foot of ground inside was planted with some kind of a flower or shrub. Kelby met us at the gate.
Yes? What do you men want?
Police officers. Are you Mr. Kelby?
Yes, what do you want?
Well, if you'll shut those dogs up for a minute, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
I'm busy now. Can't you come back tomorrow?
It's pretty important, Mr. Kelby. I think we better talk right now.
All right, if you have to. Red, Giant, down. You two, Jaime. Quiet. All right. Now, what do you want?
Mind if we come inside?
These watchdogs of mine are pretty vicious. We can talk here at the gate.
All right, Mr. Kelby. This is Sergeant Romero. My name's Friday. We've been assigned to look into your wife's disappearance.
Oh. Did you find anything yet?
Nothing definite. Maybe you can help us. Would you tell us exactly what happened the night your wife disappeared?
What do you mean, what happened?
Well, when did you last see her? When you first noticed she was gone?
We finished up Sunday night dinner about 7 o'clock, and I laid down for a nap. Agnes went out on the front porch for some air. I woke up a little before 8 and went outside to look for her. She was gone.
Nobody saw her leave, Mr. Kelby?
Not that I know of. Maybe some of our nosy neighbors, I don't know.
How about your stepson? Wasn't he around Sunday night?
Bruce? No, went out to a show with some other kids.
When did he get back from the show?
About 10, I think. Why?
Where's your stepson now?
Who are you looking for, my wife or my stepson?
Both, Mr. Kelby. Where's your stepson?
Gone. I took him over to my sister's in Alhambra. Been feeling bad since his mother disappeared. Figured the change would do him good.
When did you take him over to your sister's, Kelby?
This afternoon. What's that got to do with it?
We'd like to talk to Bruce.
No, I can't allow it. The boy's too upset. I can't allow it.
I'm afraid you're going to have to allow it.
Listen, mister, you can get off this property right now. No cop's giving me sass.
Nobody's giving you sass, Kelby. We want to talk to your stepson, that's all. He might give us a clue as to the whereabouts of your wife.
And I say you can't see the boy. What's more, you cops couldn't find thorns in a rose patch. I'll get somebody else to look for Agnes. It's my business anyway, nobody else's.
It's our business, too, if anything's happened to her.
What are you talking about?
You better get your coat, Mr. Kelby. We're taking you in for questioning.
You come through that gate, and I'm going to let these dogs go accidentally.
I'd hate to shoot the dogs. Now go on in the house and get your coat. Eric Kelby turned and made his way up the path and into the house. 5 minutes later, he came out. Without a word to either of us, he came down the path, closed the gate behind him, and got into our car. On the way back to headquarters, he chatted pleasantly about the weather, the nursery business, and his dogs. When we pulled up in front of the city hall, we met the reason for his sudden change in temperament. His lawyer was waiting for us at the door. We took Kelby to one of the interrogation rooms. His lawyer tagged along. We tried to question him, but the lawyer objected to 2 out of every 3 questions we asked. It was hopeless, and we knew it. So did the lawyer. We released Kelby, but we did get the name and address of his sister where the stepson Bruce was staying. After they left, Ben and I got back in the car and drove out to Alhambra to check on the boy.
Spaghetti had this one pegged right, Joe. It's a real sleeper.
Yeah. I'd like to know how the stepson missed that date with us this afternoon.
Well, if the kid called us from the house, his stepfather could have overheard him.
It's possible. Sister's house ought to be along this block, shouldn't it?
Yeah, let's see. 1408, 1406. Right is, Joe. A gray cottage, 1402.
Right. Well, it's a nice-looking little place, isn't it? Well kept.
Yeah, it's a nice neighborhood. I wonder how the lot prices run out here. Somebody's coming.
Yes, what is it?
Police officers, ma'am. Are you Miss Kelby?
Bertha Kelby. Yes, that's my name. Why?
We talked to your brother earlier today, Miss Kelby. He said that you brought his stepson, Bruce, here to stay for a while. We'd like to see him.
Bruce? Yes, he was here till about, an hour and a half ago. I went to the store, and when I came back, he was gone.
Have you any idea where he might be, Miss Kelby?
Well, I telephoned my brother Eric's place just before you came to the door. He's not there. I don't know where he might be. I'm worried about him. He seems so upset. This business about his mother's disappearance, you know.
Would you mind if we came in and looked around, Miss Kelby?
Well, no, not at all.
We went in and looked the house over from one end to the other. There wasn't a trace of the boy. We drove back to Kelby's nursery and satisfied ourselves the boy wasn't there. Then we came back to Alhambra and we kept an eye on Miss Bertha Kelby's home until midnight. No one came or went. At 5 minutes past midnight, the lights went off in the living room, and a few minutes later, in the back of the house. The next morning, when Ben and I checked in for work as usual at 8 o'clock, we met with Captain of Homicide, Frank Kearney.
What makes you two so positive there has been any foul play in this Kelby thing?
That's just it, Cap. We're not positive. It's a whole setup. It smells bad.
For instance?
That lawyer. If a man's innocent, he doesn't need a lawyer to sit with him in the interrogation room and tell him not to answer questions. Number two, that kid's telephone call.
Maybe he doesn't get along with his stepfather. It happens, you know. Maybe he's trying to get back at him for something or other.
Maybe. Then why is Kelby hiding him out?
You sure he's hiding him out?
No other way to take it, Cap.
The Kelby woman walked away from her home Sunday night. Nobody saw her. She took nothing with her. No clothes, no luggage, no money. You checked with the family doctor?
Yesterday. He told us Mrs. Kelby was in perfect health. We double-checked the Wanderer's file and the Repeater's file in missing persons. Couldn't find her name in either one.
How about her relatives in town?
Haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, Cap. We'll check them this morning.
Well, one thing's certain. The woman couldn't have gone very far.
We checked the sheriff's office, the jails, the hospitals.
We've sent out a teletype and an APB. Every cop in the city has her description. She's been gone almost 4 days, but nobody's seen her. How does that add up to you?
It doesn't. You better move on it. Check every one of Mrs. Kelby's friends and relatives.
Right, Frank.
Then try the neighbors. As long as I've been a cop, neighbors have been able to tell everything about anyone.
All that day, Ben and I made the rounds. First stop was the Western National Bank, where Mrs. Kelby maintained her account. Her savings statement showed a total balance of $31,564.17. Her separate checking account had a balance of $842.71. At the Farmers Mutual, we found the record of an insurance policy issued to Agnes Trumbull Kelby. It was a 20-pay life policy covering the insured in the amount of $30,000. The beneficiary was listed as the insured son, Bruce Trumbull Kelby, if living upon the receipt of such due proof. If not, the insured's husband, Eric J. Kelby. By the time we finished checking her financial status, the odds were piling up fast. From only casual reports, we knew that Eric Kelby was a frugal man. If he was greedy as well, if he wanted or needed money badly enough to kill, then he had all the motives necessary to murder his wife. Maybe his stepson, too. Ben and I started to make the rounds of Mrs. Kelby's friends and relatives. Our first stop was at the apartment of Agnes Kelby's sister, a talkative maiden lady in her early 60s.
Agnes just isn't that kind. Oh, I'm worried sick about this. I really am. And Bruce, the poor lad, he must be heartsick. And Eric, what does Eric say about all this?
He says he thinks his wife left him.
Left him? Why, that's ridiculous. How strange.
Can you think of any good reason why your sister would leave Mr. Kelby?
Why, no. They had tiffs, of course, small ones. But, of course, there was that argument about Bruce. The two of them always seem to be arguing about Bruce.
How do you mean, ma'am?
Oh, well, raising the boy and all, you know. The last time I talked to them, they were tiffing about whether or not Bruce should be paid for working in the nursery for Eric. And the strangest thing, Eric seemed to be so upset about it all. Imagine. All on account of paying the boy a few dollars for good, honest work in that silly nursery. Well, you know, I'm the outspoken kind, and I just told Eric. Eric, I said, don't be an old meanie. Pay the boy.
That was the extent of the information which Mrs. Kelby's sister had to offer. Next, we called on an aunt, Mrs. James D. Trumbull, 83 years old. She could hardly understand our questions, let alone answer them. She hadn't seen her niece, Agnes, in a year. After that, we paid a visit to one of Mrs. Kelby's friends, a Mrs. Lillian Humboldt.
Well, I'm sorry, Sergeant, but I can't think of any good reason why she would leave him. Unless that silly business about Bruce got out of hand. You know, maybe Eric is just a little jealous of the boy.
Next, we called on Daisy McLeod, who worked as a day maid for Mrs. Kelby.
Officer, what Mr. and Mrs. Kelby thought, what they said, what they did, it's none of my business. I come in the morning, I do my work, I do it well. I'm not the nosy type, and I don't pry. I take half an hour for lunch, and when I'm through, I take my pay, and I don't expect tips, and I take the bus home. I'm not the peeking through the keyhole kind, sneaking around corners listening. But what I couldn't tell you about that man.
Exactly what do you mean, Miss McLeod?
Oh, he's a hard man, you know. They're always arguing about the boy. Bruce this, Bruce that. He's a nice boy, I think. He's never done anything to me. Oh, but the arguments. Him and her all the time. Should the boy be paid for working? Shouldn't he? Why? Why not all the time? It's just...
When Ben and I finished with a list of Mrs. Kelby's friends, relatives, and employees, we started out on the neighbors. None of them saw Mrs. Kelby after 6 p.m. the night she disappeared. 2 of the neighbors said they saw the porch light burning after 7 p.m., but both said the porch was empty. Mrs. Kelby was not sitting in her chair at the usual time after dinner. According to them, that was one of her habits. It was 10 minutes to 6 by the time Ben and I got back to the office. The light was still burning in Captain Kearney's office.
Full day, Joe. Lot of mileage.
Yeah. Wonder what the captain's hanging around for.
Let's find out.
Get anything?
Pretty good luck, yeah.
Good. I've got some more for you. Just walked in 5 minutes ago.
What do you mean, Frank? Who walked in?
Bruce Kelby. He's waiting in the next room.
We went in the next room and met Bruce Kelby. He was small for a 17-year-old, dark-haired, and a little on the sickly side. He told us that he couldn't keep the date he made with us on the phone because his stepfather apparently did overhear the conversation and drove him directly to his sister's home in Alhambra. We asked him why he was so sure that his stepfather was responsible for his mother's sudden disappearance.
For one thing, all 3 of us usually go to the early show on Sunday night. Eric, Mom, and me. But last Sunday, Eric said he wasn't feeling good and he wanted Mom to stay home and take care of him. Then he told me to go on ahead to the show, so I did.
What time did you get home, son?
About 9:30, 9:45.
What was your stepfather doing when you got home?
Sitting in the living room reading the paper.
You notice anything unusual about the way he acted?
He was nervous and jumpy, more than usual, I think.
Anything else?
Yes, sir. When I came in through the front yard, I noticed the dogs had mud all over their paws. They'd been out somewhere in the nursery plots. And they won't go out in the plots unless Eric's with them. He doesn't want them to trample the seedlings.
What would your stepfather be doing out in the nursery at night? Does he usually do some work at night?
No, sir. None of the plots are even lighted. Only the greenhouses.
And the paths in the greenhouses are usually graveled, aren't they? No mud around.
It's my job to see that the greenhouse paths are kept graveled. I know they're not muddy. I fixed them the day before, Saturday.
What do you think it means, son?
I don't know. I don't want to think about it. I just know he's done something. He's done something to her.
Did your stepfather give you any reason for keeping you away from the police officers the other day?
No, sir. He said people were getting nosy, and he said it might be better for me over at Aunt Bertha's. She's his sister.
Do you think your Aunt Bertha might know where your mother is?
No, we hardly ever see her. We don't know her well at all.
We've heard your mother and your stepfather argued about whether you should be paid for your work in the nursery.
When I started to work for him, he promised he'd pay me. I was saving up to buy a 31 Model A. And then after a couple of months, when he didn't pay me, I asked him. He told me I ought to be glad to work for him for nothing.
And your mother argued with him over that?
Sure, it was her money that bought the nursery anyway.
How'd you get away from your aunt's place last night?
Well, Bertha had some shopping to do, and she left me alone. She locked the door to my room. Even the screen over the window in my room was nailed down, but I kicked it out and got away. I stayed at a friend's house last night.
Thought about where you're going to stay tonight?
I don't know. But I'm not going home. And I'm not going back to Bertha's place either. I'll get a room.
How'd you like to stay at my house a few days?
Sure nice of you, sir. Maybe I'd better not. Mom might not like it.
Oh, I'll take care of that. Now let's hop out and get some dinner.
Sure darn nice of you, sir.
All right, son. Come with me.
What do you think, Joe?
He could be lying. Yeah.
Now what, Cap? Shall we bring Kilby in again?
No, not yet. He's found out by now from his sister that the boy's gone. He probably figures the police station is the first place he'd come.
Wouldn't do much good pulling him in now, Ben. We couldn't even question him. 10 to 1 his lawyer'd be waiting for us when we got back.
That's the problem. How do we get to this Kelby without his lawyer finding out?
Well, what about the early morning, Cap? Say tomorrow, about 5 or 6 a.m. Think you'd be looking for us then?
Yeah, that might do it.
If we can just get by that pack of hounds he owns without waking the whole neighborhood, might work.
If we could just question him alone, I got an idea it wouldn't take much to make him cop out.
All right, give it a try. Get out there in the early morning and bring him in for questioning as quietly as possible. I'll be in at 6 a.m. If you want me before then, call me at home.
All right, Frank.
Kelby's got a smart lawyer. It's going to be plenty hard to convict him without a body and corroborating evidence.
He's got 4 acres out there, Cap. You can hide a lot of bodies in 4 acres.
Well, that's what I mean. This case isn't ending. It's just beginning.
The next morning, Ben and I met at the office about a few minutes past 4 a.m. We had a cup of coffee and a donut at an all-night restaurant, and then we started for the Kelby place out on Belasco Road. We took 4 pounds of fresh horse meat with us to keep the dogs quiet if they raised a fuss. It was 28 minutes past 4 when Ben pulled the car to a stop a few hundred feet from the gate to the Kelby nursery. We got out of the car and made our way down the road to the gate. I reached in and tried the latch. It was padlocked. The dogs started in. Okay, Ben, looks like we'll have to jump the fence. Toss some of that horse meat over to him.
Yeah, here.
That's it. Come on, let's climb.
Keep an eye on those hounds. Looks like they could chew your leg off.
Yeah. Here comes a third one, Ben. Toss some more meat.
Yeah, there you are, boy. Go get it. Go get it, boy. Here.
Look, Ben, lights going on in the house.
Come on, let's make it fast.
Who is it? Who's there? I'll set the dogs on you.
Police officers, Mr. Kelby.
What? What are you doing out here this time of night?
You're under arrest, Kelby. Get your coat.
You cops are asking for a peck of trouble.
Get your coat.
Where's my stepson? What you done with him?
What have you done with your wife?
You're going to pay for this. I'll have your jobs.
That's not the first time we heard that, Kelby. Let's go. Lights burning in the captain's office.
Yeah. All right, Kelby, in here.
I'll pay for this, mark my word.
Ben, take him in the office here and stay with him. I'll see if Frank's in yet.
Right, Joe. Come on, Kelby, inside.
Friday? Did you bring in Kelby?
He's down in the interrogation room. Ben's with him.
Somebody saw you.
Don't think so.
They must have. Kelby's lawyer's sitting in the next room.
Kelby again refused to answer any questions without the advice of his attorney. We released him. That day, Captain Kearney sent out 2 men to keep an eye on the nursery and report on all of Kelby's movements. Shortly after 7 o'clock that night, just after nightfall, we tried once again to bring in Kelby for questioning without his lawyer's knowledge. It didn't work. A little after we booked him, his lawyer obtained a writ of habeas corpus. We had to release him again. The 2 men assigned to stake out the Kelby place reported definitely that somebody was tipping the lawyer whenever unknown visitors showed up at the nursery and drove off with Kelby. There was nothing we could do about it. The next morning, Kearney came up with a lead.
I had a long talk with the boy last night. Accidentally, I think he's given us a pretty good lead.
Yeah?
There's only one way we'll ever get a conviction. That's by finding the body and evidence to tie Kelby in.
Yeah, that'll do it. Where do we start looking?
In a new rose bed next to one of the greenhouses in Kelby's nursery. The kid came up with it last night.
How come?
First, Kelby's crazy about saving $1 and making one.
Yeah.
In the nursery trade, especially where you have a limited area to work in, like Kelby, you cultivate every foot of ground. Every bit of soil you got is planted with something. Kelby's not the type to waste anything. Especially he's not the kind that would let ground lie fallow when he could plant something that might bring in a few dollars next season. Bruce tells me his stepfather has every inch of those 4 acres planted. Every inch. Except a 6 by 9 foot plot of ground in that rose garden.
Oh, that sounds like a long shot to me, Frank.
The boy said he prepared that piece of ground for planting late Saturday afternoon. His stepfather wanted it ready for Sunday morning. The plot of ground's still vacant.
Might have planted it yesterday, Cap. When's the last time you checked?
Before I came to work this morning. I called the men on stakeout next to the nursery. They told me the plot's still empty.
It's worth a chance, Frank. When do we look it over?
Tonight. I don't want Kelby or his lawyer to know a thing until we find that body.
Well, how are we going to work it?
We'll order up a crew from the crime lab. They can take probings through that plot and all around it. They can tell us without any guesswork how deep that ground's been worked over lately.
When do you want to start?
Be here in the office at 8:30 tonight. If my hunches are any good, we'll find a body.
It was 10 minutes past 9 that night when we got to the Kelby place. Lieutenant Lee Jones and his assistants, Kearney, Ben, and 2 other men from Homicide. The men on stakeout told us that Kelby had left about 20 minutes before in a dark blue coupe. Ben brought along the usual supply of horse meat for the dogs, so we didn't have any trouble there. We found the empty plot of ground in the rose bed next to the greenhouse, exactly as Bruce described it to Kearney.
Ground's been worked over all right, boys. At least 4 to 5 feet down.
All right, Lee, let's start digging. Romero, take care of the dogs. Watson, grab one of these shovels.
Right, Captain.
Hey, Kelby said these dogs were vicious, didn't he?
Yeah, why?
Look at these hounds. They're no more vicious than a lively coal. Look.
Higgins, get that light over here, will you? Thanks.
What is it, Lee?
Let me see. Teeth. Set of false teeth.
Been in the ground long?
Don't think so, judging from the shape they're in.
How far down would you say you are, Lee?
A couple of feet. Ground's real soft.
Lee, come here a minute.
What is it?
Body. Here's the shoulder.
All right, you men over here with Watson. Get the dirt off the face. Romero, you got a picture of the Kelby woman?
Yeah, Cap. Let's see. Oh, here it is.
Thanks. Get the light down here.
Hunch paid off, Frank. That's her. Ben and I went back to the car and notified communications to broadcast a want for murder on Eric Kelby. His description, together with a description of the car and license number of the car he was driving, was rebroadcast every 15 minutes. Then we went back to check the house. We found the front door unlocked. We went inside and looked around. In one bedroom, we found clothes scattered over the bed and the floor. There was only one old suit remaining in the closet. On the table next to the bed, we found an airline's timetable. We got to the phone and notified communications to alert all police details at railroad stations, bus terminals, and airlines, and then to send out an APB on the teletype. After that, we checked with the airlines. One of them told us that a man answering Kelby's description had booked passage for Mexico City. The plane was scheduled to take off at 10:40 that night from Burbank Airport. Ben's watch said 4 minutes past 10. We called the detail at the airport and alerted them. Then we drove over to check in person. It was 10:35 p.m. when Ben and I took up our positions just inside Gate 3, where passengers were boarding Flight 72 for Mexico City.
He's cutting it close, Joe. Got about 4 minutes more to make that plane.
We waited. The crowd got thicker as departure time came closer. At 10:39, Eric Kelby came through the main entrance, across the terminal, through Gate 3, into a pair of handcuffs.
I don't understand. What does this mean?
We found your wife's body, Kelby.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
In the rose patch next to the greenhouse. Your lawyer can't help this time.
Mexico City. Would have been a nice trip. Expensive.
I'll plead insanity. I didn't know what I was doing.
Be a nice vacation next year, Joe, Mexico City. I'm going to talk to my wife about it.
I didn't mean it. She slapped me. We were arguing about the boy. I didn't mean it.
I don't know if you did or not, Kelby, but you killed her. Come on. You missed your plane.
The story you have just heard is true. Only the names were changed to protect the innocent.
Eric Kelby was tried and convicted of murder in the first degree. He is now awaiting execution in the lethal gas chamber at the state penitentiary. You have just heard the 14th in a new series of authentic cases transcribed from official files. Technical advice for Dragnet comes from the office of W.A. Wharton, Acting Chief of Police, Los Angeles Police Department.
Tonight's program is dedicated to William J. Weston, Jr. of the Washington, D.C. Police Department, who on the evening of March 4th, 1945, gave his life so that yours might be more secure. Dragnet came to you from Los Angeles.
To make every day more enjoyable, treat yourself often to refreshing, delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Here's a taste treat you can enjoy indoors, outdoors, at work, or at play. The cool, long-lasting mint flavor refreshes you. The smooth, steady chewing helps keep you fresh and alert. Adds enjoyment to whatever you're doing. Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious.
Hojo Radio. We're your old-time radio headquarters. Stay tuned.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. A 22-year-old girl has disappeared. A letter has been received. It demands $30,000 for the girl's return. The letter is signed, The Wolf. Your job, get him.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime, investigated and solved by the men who unrelentingly stand watch on the security of your home, your family, and your life. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, October 18th. It was cloudy in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of homicide. My partner's Ben Romero. The boss is Ed Backstrand, chief of detectives. My name's Friday. I was on the way back from the stats office, and it was 3:26 a.m. when I got to room 42. Homicide.
Got those mugs you asked for, Joe. Here they are.
Thanks, Harris. Backstrand leave yet?
In a minute. I'm going out with him. What's the address out there, the Sullivan place?
814 Castro Boulevard. You go straight out Santa Monica, take a left at Castro.
I remember. You ready, Chief?
Yeah, man. Friday, you call Romero yet?
Right now.
Get on it. This one we don't fool with.
Yeah.
Come on, Harris.
Hello?
Sorry to wake you, Ben. This is Joe. How you feeling?
Oh, hi, Joe. What time is it?
3:30 a.m. How do you feel?
Oh, a lot better. Be back to work tomorrow.
You'll be ready in 20 minutes. I'll pick you up.
20 minutes. Okay, what's up?
You remember Martin Sullivan, vice president of the Third National Bank?
Sullivan? Yeah, what about it?
He's got a 22-year-old daughter. Or he had one. She's gone.
Good time, Joe. Where are we headed?
Sullivan home out on Castro Boulevard. Ed's out there now with Harris.
Any leads to work on?
No, nothing so far. The girl disappeared a little before 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. At 11 last night, he got a letter. They want $30,000.
Sullivan hasn't got that kind of money.
Yeah, I know it. Poor guy's almost out of his mind.
Fill me in. How did it happen?
Well, the guy took the girl out of business school. He had her called out of class. Told her father was sick, said he was a friend of the family.
Well, how about the teachers? What was their story?
Said the girl didn't want to go with the man at first, but he finally talked her into it. Kept telling her father was dying.
That's about as low as it come?
Yeah.
Did he use a car?
Witnesses said it was a blue sedan. They didn't get the license number or the make.
Did they remember what the guy looked like?
About 5'9", 160, brown suit, dark hair.
Nothing else?
No. Here's a copy of the letter. The usual. Read it.
Yeah. I have your daughter, Judy. Get, what's that?
$30,000.
$30,000 quick if you want her back alive. Don't call police or I'll kill her. Contact you later. Signed, what is it?
The Wolf.
Oh, Wolf. Huh?
I could think of a better name. Come on, here we are.
Who's got the original note, Joe?
Lee Jones down at the crime lab. He's checking it for prints and handwriting.
Well, if he was... Oh, hi, Dave. Right on the house, boys. Just waiting for you.
Thanks, Dave.
Hi, Joe. Ben. In the living room.
Thank you.
That's the way I see it, Mr. Sullivan. Now, you understand exactly what you have to do?
Yes, sir. I'll do as you say.
All right. Here are the two men who will help you. Sergeant Friday and Sergeant Romero, homicide.
Yes, how do you do?
I do.
Mr. Backstrand, are you sure about all this?
He might get frightened. He might do something to Judy.
Believe me, Mr. Sullivan, it's the only way. I know how you must feel, but we can't do anything else.
All right, I want to see Mrs. Sullivan first. I'll be ready in a moment. Any developments?
Yeah. Come on back in the dining room. There it is on the table. Second note from the guy.
Telegram. When did this come?
About half an hour ago. Guy phoned it into Western Union from a public booth. Couldn't trace it.
I'll see, Joe. Yeah. Be at Elysian Park, 5 o'clock this morning, near Balkan Drive. Come alone. Bring 30,000. Will return girl. Don't tell cops. Kill her if you do. Or we'll.
4 a.m. now, Skipper. Not much time.
I know it. We'll have to do as he says. No other way.
Then Sullivan's going out there alone?
You're going with him. You and Romero. You'll be hidden out in the trunk of the car.
Any plan?
Get him. That's all.
Ben and I went out the back door and into the Sullivan garage. We jammed ourselves into the trunk compartment, and Harris closed the door on us. The latch was fixed so that the door could be pushed open from the inside. A few minutes later, Mr. Sullivan came out, got in the car, and we drove off. At 3 minutes to 5, we pulled up at the meeting place in Elysian Park. We waited. Nothing happened. At 5 minutes past 5, it started to thunder.
That's all we need now. Thunderstorm.
Stuff in here in this trunk, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Ben, listen. Sullivan?
Must be. Wonder if he's seen anything.
Sounds like he's pacing up and down alongside the car, doesn't it?
Now, listen. Can't hear anything else. Can you?
No. We better stay under cover.
Yeah. The rain's starting in. Wonder what happened to the wool.
Cold feet, maybe. Let's wait it out.
Joe.
Yeah?
What time you got now?
Move over a little. Let me get my watch up.
Yeah.
A little past 5:30.
Sergeant.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes. Do you think he's coming? It's late. It's getting daylight.
We better wait it out, Mr. Sullivan. Now, look, don't come back here again. If he's watching, you might tip him off.
Oh, all right. All right.
Poor guy.
Joe?
Yeah, I hear it. Coming up the road toward us.
It's stopping.
Yeah. Coming over to our car. You ready?
Right. Talking with Sullivan.
They're coming back here. Now watch it.
Brandy, Romero.
That you, Ed?
Yeah, the meeting's off. Come on out.
All right.
Got a cramp in my leg.
I'm cramped all over.
Mr. Sullivan, drive back home. We'll contact you there.
All right, Chief.
Ben, Joe, come on over to the car.
What's the story, Ed?
The guy had no intention of following through with this meeting tonight.
Well, how come?
He told us. Phoned at 5 o'clock. Tried to trace the call. He wouldn't stay on the line long enough.
What do you have to say?
He wanted more money. Bragged about how smart he was. How we'd never get him.
Well, he knows Sullivan's called in the police.
Sure. Said he didn't care. We'd never get him anyway.
Yeah, pretty cocky.
Pretty smart. Take my word for it. He's no dummy.
Control 1 to 80K. Control 1
I'll get it.
80K.
80K to Control 1. 80K to Control 1. Go ahead.
80K, go to your office. Code 3. Go to your office. Code 3. GMA 367.
All right, Romero. Let's roll.
More than 12 hours had passed since word of Judy Sullivan's disappearance had been phoned in a homicide. During that time, an all-points bulletin containing the descriptions of the suspect, his car, and the girl had been sent out on the teletype to law enforcement agencies throughout the area. The same descriptions were broadcast over the police radio every hour. The Sullivan home had been placed under strict surveillance, and Mr. Sullivan instructed not to contact the suspect without knowledge of the police. He'd raised almost $10,000 in cash to buy him off. The serial number on each one of the bills had been copied by a police stenographer and then rechecked by a homicide officer. So far, the Wolf, as he called himself, had made 3 separate contacts, but he'd covered his tracks well. We knew that he was somewhere in the city, 500 square miles of it, and we knew we had to find him fast. It was 18 minutes past 6 when we got back to homicide.
Hi, Chief. Fellas.
You got something for us, Mac?
Here, this letter. Special delivery. Came in about 25 minutes ago.
Can I see that, Mike? Stay away from Sullivan. If the kid's found dead, it's your fault. Stay away, the Wolf.
All right, Mike. Get it over to the crime lab and have Lee check it for prints.
Right, Chief.
Will you find any prints on the second note, Mike?
2. Running through R&I now.
Friday, Romero, get down there and see if they got a make.
Right, Ed. Let's go, Ben.
Who's watching the Sullivan house beside Harry?
Carpenter and Davis. Backstrand's afraid the girl's father will try to make a deal with the guy.
Has he tried it yet?
No, he hasn't yet. You couldn't blame him if he did. Worried sick.
Oh, yeah.
Here we are.
Hi, fellas. Just coming down to see you.
Got something, Larry?
Those 2 prints Lee Jones listed off that letter got a make on them from the single print file.
Good, Larry. Let's see, huh?
There it is. Pull the whole package on him. Donald Alfred Kiefer. Looks like a real bad one, doesn't he?
Donald Alfred Kiefer, male, Caucasian, age 29, 5 feet 8 inches, 170 pounds, brown eyes, dark brown hair. He had 1 previous arrest for forgery in Los Angeles 10 months before. Kiefer's occupation at the time of his arrest was listed as bank clerk at the Third National Bank. Ben went back into the files and pulled the crime report. Then we called Ed Backstrand.
There's the answer, Skipper. At the time Kiefer pulled that forgery job at the bank, Mr. Sullivan was one of the vice presidents.
Go on.
Sullivan was the one who preferred charges against Kiefer and saw that he was prosecuted.
Where's this Kiefer now?
Let me see. He was placed on probation, and on May 16th this year, he returned to his home in Omaha, Nebraska. That's 1380 Mackinac Avenue.
All right, Romero. Get Omaha on the phone and have them check out Kiefer.
Right, Skipper.
Friday, take Kiefer's package and this note down to Don Myers. Have him check the handwriting. And get over to the crime lab and see what Jones lifted off that last letter we got.
All right, Ed.
The faster we work, the faster we'll put this guy behind bars. Now move.
How's the writing compared, Don? What'd you find?
It looks good. See here? Slants as crosses, double oops as L's, open A's, pressure on the downstroke. Donald Kiefer, Wolf, same handwriting.
Lifted 3 prints off this last note, Joe. Brought them out with the iodine fume gun. They match with the first.
Thanks, Lee. Did you find anything else?
I don't know if it'll help you much. We examined the paper for watermarks and texture. Both notes are written on the same kind of paper. Impressions show both pieces of paper from the same tablet. Checked the density of the carbon and the pencil he used. Both specimens match. Same pencil.
By mid-afternoon, Donald Kiefer's description had been broadcast throughout the area. Bulletins were dispatched to all departments, and an APB was teletyped for the entire state. Men were stationed at every post office in the city to watch for notes that might come through the mail. The bus depots, railroad terminals, the airports, and all the main roads leading out of the city were under strict surveillance. The entire Los Angeles area was broken down into single square-mile districts, and a house-to-house canvass was started. A squad of men were assigned to cover each square mile. Outlying towns and cities were requested to do the same. By 5 o'clock that afternoon, the greatest Dragnet operation in the history of the city was underway. We were sure Donald Kiefer was somewhere inside. At 12 minutes past 5, Ben got the call back from the Omaha police.
Yeah, I got it. 6 X-ray 419. Nebraska place, right. Well, thank you a lot. Yeah, bye.
They had a make on the car.
Lots more. The Omaha cops are looking for Kiefer, too. Want him for a robbery there 2 months ago.
Yeah?
In that robbery, he used a stolen 1939 blue sedan. Nebraska license plate, 6 X-ray 419.
How about his family and his friends back there? They all been checked?
Yeah.
Well, get that car description to communications, huh? APB, teletype, and broadcast. I'll tell Ed.
Yeah, right, Joe.
Friday, Romero.
Yeah, Ed.
What are you tied up with?
Well, just got a call from Omaha. Make on Kiefer in the car.
Give it to me. You two get out to the Sullivan house fast as you can. See Harris.
What's happened, Skipper?
Martin Sullivan's disappeared.
All right, Harris, how'd it happen?
About 3 this afternoon, Mr. Sullivan got a phone call. Said he had to go down to the bank. I went with him. He had me wait in the reception room, and he went in his office. After waiting 10 minutes, I got suspicious and went in. He was gone. That's it.
Did he get any more money?
This morning, $5,000.
Did you get the serial numbers off the bills?
Yeah. Shouldn't have let him get out of my sight.
Forget it. Right now, we've got to find out where he's gone to meet Kiefer.
Did you talk to Mrs. Sullivan about it, Harris?
She says she doesn't know anything about it.
Let's try her again. Come on, let's go inside.
All right, fellas.
All right. Where's Mrs. Sullivan, Dave?
Back in the sitting room, lying down. Doctor's with her.
Come on. What time you got, Ben?
6:35.
I'll get it. Hello? Well, where are you? Oh. Where are you now? Where are you now? We'll be right out. That was Martin Sullivan. He met with Kiefer out in Laurel Canyon.
Did he get his daughter back?
Yeah. Wrapped in newspapers. All cars in the area were notified that a contact had been made with Kiefer. We got in the car and drove out to Laurel Canyon. The entire area had been blocked off. We found Martin Sullivan standing in the middle of the road at the end of East Winding Way. 500 feet down the hill was a private residence where Sullivan had telephoned us. It was the only building in the immediate vicinity. A few yards beyond the point where East Winding Way ended, back in a clump of tall grass, we found the body of Martin Sullivan's daughter. We notified the crime lab, Chief Backstrand in the coroner. Despite a severe state of emotional shock, Martin Sullivan tried to tell us the story.
He said Judy was all right. I believed him. I wanted her back. Judy. I tricked the officer, the one watching me. He said, come along, no police. Did you see his car, Mr. Sullivan? I wanted her back. I wanted Judy back. I did as he said. I drove here at 6 o'clock and I waited. I put the money on the front seat like he said.
Did he get the money, Mr. Sullivan?
And I got out. Left parking lights on. I stood up there by the end of the road, waiting.
Mr. Sullivan.
And he drove up. He took the money. Then he came up to me. He had a gun. I wanted Judy back. He had a gun.
Did you see his car?
He said she was up there, beyond the road, tied to a tree. I wanted her back.
Mr. Sullivan, did you see his car?
I went to look for Judy. He drove away. She wasn't there. By the tree. Couldn't find her. On the way back, I saw her bundle on the way back. Let me find her. He killed her. Let me find her.
Before he went into a state of complete collapse, we showed Martin Sullivan a picture of Donald Alfred Kiefer. He definitely identified him. The information was immediately relayed back to Central Division, rebroadcast to the entire police radio system. A teletype was dispatched to sheriff's offices, and communications were sent to police stations throughout the country. The house-to-house search throughout the entire city intensifying. The dragnet in which we hoped to trap Donald Kiefer was drawing slowly inward. It was 12 midnight.
Street, Sullivan Girl Murder, next street. Read all about it. Citizens join search for killer.
Friday, did the papers get a list of the numbers on that ransom money?
Yeah, got them in the final net edition. 2.5 pages of serial numbers. Gave it a big spread.
Look at these pictures of Kiefer here, all over the front page.
The more the better, Romero. I hope this town never forgets that face. Good reminder. You don't make deals with killers.
Hi, fellas. Come on over.
Find anything yet, Lee?
Just checking over these towels here. Found them wrapped around the girl's body, inside the papers. Funny thing about those papers.
What's that, Lee?
They're all yesterday's. Every story about the girl's disappearance has been clipped out.
Maybe the guy's making up a scrapbook.
How about the towels, Jones? Any laundry marks?
Not a one so far, Ed. Every one of them was clipped off. Pretty smart. The morgue post the body in?
They're doing it now.
Yeah, nasty one.
Yeah. Did you get any footprints or tire marks out where they found the body?
Lots of them, all cast. Bossy and Taylor are checking them. One thing.
What is it, Jones?
I don't know. Under the seam here. This towel. Wait a minute. Joe, that pair of snippers there.
Yeah. Here you are.
Thanks. Just back under the seam. There. That's one tag he missed.
Any markings, Lee?
Yeah. Greenway Apartments, Los Angeles.
One look at the apartment was enough. In an adjoining garage, we found the car which Kiefer had used, a blue sedan. Nebraska license plate 6X-ray 419. When we got back to the office, Chief Backstrand immediately issued a cancellation of the want order for the blue sedan, and then he ordered a detail of men to stake out the car in the event Kiefer decided to come back for it.
Here's the coroner's report, Joe.
Oh, let's see it. Cause of death, strangulation. Time of death, Monday, October 18th, approximately 2 p.m.
1 hour after he grabbed her?
That can't be right.
Skipper in his office?
No, he's out for a minute.
Hey, Joe, Ben, take the call off 2503, will you?
Thanks, Mike. Right. Would you give me the call on 2503, please? Thanks. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, when? We'll be right over. Some of the ransom money, Ben, just showed up. Beverly and Highland. Come on. The man's name was Ralph Donahue. He operated a used car lot on the corner of Beverly and Highland. He told us that early that morning he sold a dark blue late model coupe to a man who gave his name as Fred Sims. The man paid for the car in cash. Donahue told us that he checked the serial numbers on the bills after the man had driven away.
Serial numbers check out, Joe, every one of them.
If I only thought to look, officer, and you know I generally do. I'm the suspicious kind anyway, but, this morning I must have been asleep.
You got the full description on the car, Ben?
Yeah, Joe.
All right, let's get it on the air right away.
I saw his mug in the paper while I was waiting for you. Too late. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks. At 10 minutes past 3 that afternoon, another piece of the ransom money turned up at a busy downtown department store. The clerk was unable to remember who gave her the bill. The detail throughout the general downtown area was strengthened. The house-to-house search of the entire city for Judy Sullivan's murderer went on. The afternoon dragged into the early evening. At 20 minutes to 7, Ben and I had a hamburger and a cup of coffee in the drugstore at East Broadway and 3rd. And then we got back in the car, checked with communications, and started cruising the neighborhood again. At 9 minutes to 8, a man answering the description of Donald Kiefer was seen crossing Sunset Boulevard just below Highland. 7 minutes later, the same man was reported near the intersection of Hollywood Boulevard and Las Palmas. Communications relayed the information. At 21 minutes past 8, our car, 80K, along with a dozen others, were concentrated in the Hollywood Boulevard area from Gower Street to La Brea, Franklin Avenue to Santa Monica Boulevard. At 24 minutes past 8, another piece of the ransom money was passed at a cigar store on the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Hawthorne Street. The number of men and radio cars in the area was redoubled. Plainclothes officers were stationed at every intersection to keep an eye on pedestrian traffic. At 18 minutes to 9, the dark blue coupe, which Kiefer had bought that morning, was spotted parked in an alley just below Hollywood Boulevard and Cahuenga. We called Ed Backstrand.
City Hall.
2503.
2503.
Chief of Detectives Office, Allen.
It's Friday, Mike. Chief there?
Yeah, wait a minute. Just going out the door. Ed, it's for you.
Backstrand?
Friday, Ed. Just spotted Kiefer's car, the one he bought this morning, parked in an alley off Cahuenga.
Harris and I are on our way up there now. We'll take care of the car. You take care of this call. Just came in.
What do you got?
The theater on the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Fairview. The girl in the box office just took in a $10 ransom bill.
Yeah?
She got a good look at the man who passed the bill. She says it's Kiefer.
All right, Ben, come on.
Yeah. You got the list of serial numbers?
Right here. Let's check at the window.
Yes, sir. How many, please?
Police officers. Sergeant Romero, Sergeant Friday.
Oh, yes, sir. Mr. Rayburn, the police are here. Would you step around to the side door, Sergeant?
Yes, ma'am.
Margie, relieve Francis for a minute. Francis, come here. Bring that $10 bill with you.
Sharp girl, officer, that Francis. Sharp.
Here it is, Mr. Rayburn.
All right, Sergeant. There you are. $10 bill and the list of serial numbers.
Check out all right, Ben? That's it, Joe. Good work, man. You reported the man came in about a half hour ago. You're sure it was Kiefer?
Yes, sir. I have his picture in the box office just behind the change machine. I recognized him right away.
And as far as you know, he hasn't left the theater.
That's right, sir.
All right, Mr. Rayburn, I'm sorry. I'm afraid we'll have to interrupt the show.
Anything you say, Sergeant. Anything.
Ben, you keep an eye on the front exit. I'll call communications.
All right, Joe.
80K to Control 4. 80K to Control 4.
80K, go ahead.
Control 4, clear all frequencies. The Sullivan murder suspect, Donald Kiefer, has been located in the theater on the southeast corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Fairview. Have all units surround the area.
80K, roger. Attention all units. Attention all units. Assist 80K at the theater on the southeast corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Fairview. The Sullivan murder suspect has been located in the theater. Go ahead, 80K.
Control 4, have all units converge in the general area, Hollywood Boulevard and Fairview. Unit 62R to block off the intersection at Hollywood Boulevard and North Cherokee. Stop all pedestrian and vehicular traffic. Unit 61A to block the intersection at Hollywood Boulevard and Hudson Street. Stop all pedestrian and vehicular traffic. Unit 71 and 72R to block the alley behind the theater. Unit 66 and 67R to assist at main entrance to the theater. Within a few minutes, the 1/2 mile area around the theater was completely blockaded. Every exit and entrance to the theater was covered. At 9:23, we met Harris and Ed Backstrand in the theater manager's office. Backstrand outlined our plan of operation. At 9:28, a detail of 14 men walked down the side aisles on the main floor of the theater and took up their posts on either side of the orchestra pit. The picture was stopped and every light in the theater was turned on. Ed Backstrand, Harris, Ben, and I went down the aisle and up onto the stage. Backstrand made the announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry to interrupt the picture, but this is important. We're police officers. We've traced the murderer of Judy Sullivan to this theater. He is in this theater now. Now we're going to search the theater row by row, and we'd like to ask your cooperation. There's no need to be panicky or afraid. Those who wish to leave now may do so. Leave by the main entrance. Each one of you will be checked as you go out the door. And for the benefit of the man we're looking for, don't try to escape. Every exit is covered and the entire area is blockaded. Don't place any more lives in jeopardy.
Come on, Ben.
Backstage, Joe. We can make it from there.
All right, let's go. Come on, hustle it, Ben.
Yeah. The next building. You'll probably try to jump for it.
All right, watch it. I think this door leads out to the roof.
There he goes.
All right, keeper, hold it.
Don't shoot, I give up.
Throw your gun down. Over here.
Don't shoot. Don't.
Let's get him.
All right, coppers. I got it figured. They won't top me for this. Didn't know what I was doing.
Put the cuffs on him, Ben.
Get away from me, you crump!
You shouldn't have hit him, keeper. All right, Ben. Try the cuffs now.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get him in out of the rain.
What's the hurry?
Why spoil a good rain?
The story you have just heard is true. Only the names were changed to protect the innocent.
Donald Alfred Kiefer was tried and convicted of murder in the first degree. He was executed in the lethal gas chamber at the state penitentiary. You have just heard the 15th in a new series of authentic cases transcribed from official files. Technical advice for Dragnet comes from the Office of Acting Chief of Police, W.A. Wharton, Los Angeles Police Department.
Tonight's program is dedicated to Deputy United States Marshal John B. Glenn of Boise, Idaho, who on the morning of July 31st, 1940, gave his life so that yours might be more secure. Dragnet came to you from Los Angeles.
Say, want a brand new breakfast idea? Then get the Betty Crocker cereal tray, the Betty Crocker cereal tray. Yes, indeed. Try the brand new cereal assortment with 10 individual packages in all. 4 Wheaties, 4 Cheerios, 2 Kicks. All top favorites and all extra fresh. Yes, it's fun to take your pick from Wheaties, Cheerios, and Kicks. Get the Betty Crocker cereal tray, the Betty Crocker cereal tray. Get that tray today.
Stay tuned to Hojo Radio.
And now, Gangbusters! Gangbusters, presented in cooperation with police and federal law enforcement departments throughout the United States. The only national program that brings you authentic police case histories. Tonight, Gangbusters presents the case of the date with death, when murder linked an old coat, a woman in the rain, and angry police officers out to avenge a slain comrade.
Gangbusters has asked the Honorable M. Joseph Wallace, Chief Inspector, Baltimore City Police Department, to narrate by proxy tonight's case. Chief Inspector Wallace.
Thank you, and good evening, Gangbusters listeners. Suppose we begin tonight's case on a Sunday afternoon in late November 1947. A huge crowd had gathered in the Baltimore Municipal Stadium to watch the Baltimore Colts in a professional football game. The weather had been threatening all afternoon, and during the third quarter, the skies opened up. Many of the fans scurried out of the rain for cover beneath the stands. One of these was an attractive young woman who ran down a ramp toward the first shelter where a man was standing.
Is there room in there?
Room enough.
Oh, thanks. Oh, football.
The greatest game in the world.
Maybe on television. Look at my hair.
It's very nice.
Nice and wet. 50,000 idiots. 50,000 idiots watching a few men dribble a ball up and down out there in the pouring rain.
How about a cigarette?
Yes. Thanks.
Light?
Thanks.
Yes. Very nice.
What?
Your hair.
Oh, you see it in pin curls.
I'd love to.
Well, thanks for the cigarette.
So you're not going back into the pouring rain, are you?
Oh, well, I've got a date out there.
He's more interested in football than in you.
Looks that way.
Not very smart, is he?
He just likes football.
What do you say you and me find some place to have a drink?
Oh, well, I couldn't run out on him.
You won't even miss him.
How do you know I won't miss him?
Well, that's another story.
Do you know of some place nearby where we can get a drink?
Sure.
I suppose we should have been introduced properly.
I'll introduce us. My name is Wood, Roy Wood.
Very pleased to meet you, Mr. Wood.
Roy.
I'm very pleased to meet you, Roy. I'm Helen.
Just Helen? That's nice.
Helen Denny.
Well, what are we standing here for? Shall we go?
Okay, why not? Oh, football.
You see, I told you I'd find a place where we could have a drink.
Well, here's to the Baltimore Colts. May they be victorious, wet or dry.
Say, what made you run out of the rain and right into me?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that's the way it was meant.
Yeah, it was meant, Helen. You and me. We were meant.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
It is that way. You know it.
Roy, how crazy can we get? Known each other 20 minutes.
That couldn't be the liquor. We haven't even finished our first drink yet.
What is it? You know, this is funny. I'm 28 years old, and I feel like a schoolgirl. Like a kid in saddle shoes.
You want to hear how I feel?
I hope I know.
You do, baby.
Tell me all about yourself. Where do you live? What do you do? Everything.
Oh, I live out on 33rd.
You do? I live out that way myself, on Pratt near Broadway.
Well, we're practically neighbors. It's made to order.
What do you do? For a living, I mean.
Oh, odd jobs.
What do you mean, odd jobs?
Oh, just that. I don't believe in tying myself down from 9 to 5 every day. When I need money, I work for it.
Oh.
You look a little bit disappointed.
Well, I just took it for granted that everybody had a job.
Well, let's just say that I'm more in the professional line. If there's anything I need, I just get it.
Nice to be able to get anything you need.
Is there anything you need, honey?
Nothing I can think of right now.
Well, don't let it worry you, Helen. I get along.
I'm sure you do. I think it stopped raining now.
Then we'll celebrate. We'll have another drink, huh?
All right, Roy. Let's have another drink.
Waiter. Waiter, hey, waiter.
Well, Gangbusters listeners, during the next few weeks that Roy Wood and Helen Denny became better acquainted, he was the subject of considerable thought in another part of Baltimore. But the man thinking about Roy Wood was not so fortunate as Helen Denny. He knew neither Wood's name nor his whereabouts. He was Detective Lieutenant George G. Bryan of the Baltimore Police Department. And as he sat at his desk one afternoon, the door to his office opened.
Hello, Lieutenant. Oh, Sergeant Mayer, come in here. I want to talk to you.
I thought you swore you'd take a Sunday or two off.
Well, not this Sunday, Sergeant. Sit down.
Thanks.
How was Cleveland?
We got a conviction.
Yeah, I read about it. Well, are you ready to go to work?
Have you got trouble?
Yeah. Some stick-ups out of North Baltimore. Cab drivers. 7 of them so far. Between 9 o'clock at night and 2, 3 in the morning, this boy hops in a cab, asks to be taken someplace, puts a gun on the driver.
Only in North Baltimore?
So far, only in North Baltimore.
Huh. Any information on him, Lieutenant?
Only the description given by the victims. 25 to 30, 5'8" or 9, 150 to 60 pounds, good-looking, dresses well.
I see. Want me to get on it?
Yeah. Have a look at the report, Sergeant. And the uniform men out there are pretty much on the watch for this boy. They're taking a good look at every taxicab in the street at night. Talk to the uniform commander out in Northeast tonight. Maybe you can be of some help to each other.
Taxi! Hey, taxi! Hop in, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, what a night.
Yeah, looks like we're in for a big snow tonight. Thank heavens I'm through in another hour. Why, I hate that drive in that snow. Old man Winter should drop dead. What's who?
Almeida and 33rd.
Right? Yeah, every winter I say to myself, Ernie, they got taxi cabs in Florida. Go to Miami, get yourself a job for the winter. Will you ever do it? Look at me. I got flat feet. Had you ever hear of anybody getting flat feet pushing a hack?
Shut up.
What?
Look, mister, I don't want any more talk out of you. All I want is your dough. Now, keep your eye on the street, but remember, this is a gun sticking in your back.
Well, take it easy now.
You take it easy if you ever want to get to Miami. Where's your dough?
Right here in this pocket.
Keep your hands on the wheel. I'll reach for it.
Yeah, that's the pocket.
That's all you got?
Well, look, I had a bad night. It ain't my fault I had a bad night. Want me to pull over so you can get out now?
Almeida and 33rd.
Yeah, Almeida and 33rd. I hate to remark about it now, buddy, but in my rear view mirror it comes up a squad car. You know, cops.
Just keep on driving.
Yeah. They're still there.
I see them.
There's a red light down there. You want me to stop for the red light or go on through?
Stop for it.
Yeah. Right alongside. They're pulling right alongside.
Don't give them any high sign.
I won't. Not me. Uh-oh, one of them's getting out to have a look. Here he comes.
Keep your mouth shut.
Okay.
Is everything all right, driver?
Yeah, officer,
you.
Me?
Step out of there. Let me have a look at you.
It's snowing, officer.
Step out here.
Oh, all right. You can have a look at this.
Hey! Halt! Stop that man! Stop him! I got a gun! Come on now, let's go! Come on! I'm right with you here.
Yes? Who is it?
It's me, honey. Roy, let me in.
Roy. It's after 2 in the morning.
Please, let me in, please.
All right.
Thanks, Helen. Thanks a lot.
What's the matter with you, Roy?
Never mind, I'll be all right.
Where's your coat? You should have more sense than to go out on a night like this without your coat.
I should have had more sense than to go out, period.
What's the matter with you, Roy?
Don't you have any idea?
When you wake me up at 2 o'clock in the morning and practically break into my room, I don't care for riddles. I'm entitled to an explanation.
Helen, you love me?
What's that got to do with it?
It's got plenty to do with it.
All I want is a reasonable explanation.
All right. You hear those sirens? That's your explanation.
You're in trouble.
You bet I'm in trouble.
I'm sure you can straighten it out.
Not this kind of trouble you can't straighten out.
Were you in a fight?
Sort of a fight, yeah. Only worse.
Well, what happened?
They were chasing me. It's a break. You live right in the neighborhood. They're probably looking for me in the street right downstairs.
Not the police.
Now, who else do you think?
Oh, Roy.
It's not that much of a shock, Helen. You know it.
Yes, Roy, I know it.
Look, you let me stay a while, won't you, baby? Let me stay here.
Yes. As long as you want.
Good girl. Now, look, there's something you have to do for me.
What?
My overcoat. I couldn't run with it. I threw it in the alley next to the tavern around the corner. I want you to get dressed and go get it for me.
But, Roy...
Oh, please, honey, if they find the coat, they can find me. They have ways. Please, baby, if you love me.
All right. I'll get dressed.
Lieutenant Bryan.
Hello, Lieutenant. Sergeant Mayer.
Patrolman Benedict was dead on arrival at the hospital.
Yeah, we heard, Lieutenant.
Any sign of this man out there, Sergeant?
No, he probably ducked in someplace. But we found an overcoat in an alley off Pratt Street. It might be his. He might have shed it to make better time running.
Well, that may be a break, Sergeant. Bring the coat in here right away.
Well, Gangbusters listeners, Baltimore detectives finally had their first tangible lead toward the identity of the hold-up man, Roy Wood. But unfortunately, it didn't come until the hold-up man became the murderer of a policeman. Detectives still had a long way to travel in the case, but they were able to take shortcuts because of a news vendor and a curt telegram.
And now back to Gangbusters. And now we hear again from tonight's narrator, Chief Inspector M. Joseph Wallace of Baltimore.
Thank you. As you know, Roy Wood, a hold-up man, shot and killed a Baltimore policeman who sought to question him. The killer escaped on foot, although pursued by the policeman's partner. It was about an hour later when the girl, Helen, came in the front door of her house and walked down the hall toward her room where the killer, Roy Wood, was waiting.
Baby, I thought you'd never get back. I thought you... The coat. Where's the coat?
I looked in the alley, Roy. It wasn't there.
I guess they got it. Guess the cops picked it up.
Roy.
Huh?
You killed that policeman, didn't you?
Listen, baby.
Did you or didn't you?
Yeah, it was me.
The whole neighborhood is up. There are police cars all over.
Listen, honey, you won't say anything to anybody about this, will you?
How could you do it, Roy?
I did it, that's all. You won't say anything, will you?
Why didn't you leave me alone? Why'd you have to bring me all this?
Baby, I love you. You know what'll happen if they get me, you know, don't you?
You weren't fair to me, Roy. You should have let me know what I was getting into.
I know I should have, but I didn't. Honey, you won't say anything, will you?
No, Roy. I won't say anything.
Thanks, Helen. Thanks a lot.
What are you going to do, Roy?
I don't know. I gotta think.
They got the coat. You said they might be able to find you through the coat.
Yeah. I'll have to get out of town for a little while. I better go back to my room now and get some things.
But, Roy, the streets are full of policemen. If they see somebody without an overcoat...
Yeah, that's right. Can I stay here a little while longer?
All right. But you mustn't go back to your room, Roy. You mustn't go back at all.
Hey, Johnny, Lieutenant in there?
Yeah, he's in there, Sergeant.
Thanks. Hello, Lieutenant.
Come in, Sergeant.
Well, I guess we can put this overcoat in cold storage.
No luck, huh?
I traced it from the manufacturer to the retailer, the United on Fayette Street.
They keep records of names and addresses of customers only when there's alterations. No alterations on this coat.
Well, how about their memory? Doesn't anybody there have a good memory?
Yeah, they remember having coats of this style in stock. That's about all. Nobody remembers selling this one.
Any cleaner's marks in it?
Nah, the coat's never been cleaned. Well, we at least know the guy is a perfect 40.
Sergeant.
Yeah?
It's pretty much of a sure thing this guy lives or did live in North Baltimore.
From the way he operated, yeah.
You want to waste a little time?
How?
Well, if he does live in North Baltimore someplace, there's somebody that's seen him and knows him. I think we ought to take this coat and visit every store and bar between Monroe and Hanover, north of Franklin. The coat's not the most ordinary ever made. Maybe somebody will recognize it and know the guy.
Maybe.
Don't you think it's worth it?
Sure, Lieutenant. I think it's worth it. Anything's worth it.
Sun, News Post, all 8. What do you read? Sun, News Post. Paper, buddy?
No, not just now. I'm a police officer.
Yeah. Sun, News Post. What do you read? What do you read? Paper?
Look, the shopkeepers around here tell me you know most everybody in the neighborhood.
They can read, I know. Sun, News Post, all 8.
You know the owner of this coat?
That coat there?
Yeah.
I don't look at people's coats. Hey, that could be Roy's.
Roy? Roy who?
How should I know Roy who? He buys the paper from me once in a while. I call him Roy.
Who calls him Roy?
The guys. He hangs down that bar down the street, Casey's.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
For what? What do you read? Paper, all 8. Sun, Post. What do you read?
Hey, bartender.
Yeah? What'll it be?
Are you Casey?
I am.
I'm from the police department.
Oh, well. Yeah, have a drink on the house.
You got a customer, Roy?
I got lots of customers. Some of them's named Roy.
The Roy that belongs to this coat.
Sweet suffering chipmunks. What's happened to Roy?
Nothing yet.
Well, he ain't been in here in a week.
What's Roy's other name?
Roy Wood, Woods, something like that. What's the matter with him?
Is he about 25 to 30 years old? 5 foot 8 or 9, weighs about 160?
Yeah, that's him.
Where does he live?
I don't know exactly. Over on 33rd someplace, but he ain't been in here in a week. Sweet suffering chipmunks, what's he got himself into?
Who knows? We just want to have a little talk with him. Thanks, Casey. Thanks a lot.
Deposit 45 cents, please.
Yeah. Here you are.
There's your party.
Helen?
Yes, Roy. How are you?
Miserable, baby.
Me too.
Honey, listen. Nobody's been around to see you? You know who I mean?
No, nobody's been around.
Oh, good. I guess everything's okay then. I'm coming back to Baltimore.
I don't know, Roy. It's too soon.
I've got to come back.
Roy.
I know what I'm doing, baby. I'll be in touch with you.
All right, Roy. Goodbye.
Bye, honey.
Why, you gentlemen are certainly mistaken. Roy Wood is a fine young man. I wouldn't have rented a room to him unless he was a fine young man.
But he hasn't been home in a week.
I told you he's a fine young man.
Mrs. Porter, you're positive this is his coat?
Well, I can't be positive, but he has one like it.
It wasn't in his room.
Well, if he went away, he must have taken the coat with him.
You say that Roy never brought any friends here?
Never.
You never saw any of his friends?
No. I asked him not to have company, and he didn't. He's a very respectable young man.
Well, what about women? Did you ever see him with any women?
No, I never saw him with any women. But those that he did go out with were very nice girls.
How do you know they were very nice girls?
Well, this last one, she sounded like a very nice young lady over the phone.
You spoke to her?
Of course, several times. I took messages for Roy.
What kind of messages?
Well, this girl, this Helen, she called and left a number 2 or 3 times. She sounded like a very nice girl.
What'd you do with the number?
Well, now, what would I do with the telephone number? I scratched it on the telephone book.
May we see the telephone book, Mrs. Porter?
If you insist, this way.
Thank you.
But Roy Wood is a fine young man. A very fine young man.
Here she is, Lieutenant. Lieutenant Bryan, Helen Denny.
Sit down, Miss Denny.
You have no right to drag me down here to the police station and keep me waiting so long. I think I'm entitled to some explanation.
She says she hasn't seen Roy Wood in a week.
That's true.
Exactly how many times did you see Roy Wood altogether?
I don't know. I didn't stop to count.
You heard from him in the last week?
No, I haven't heard from him.
Where is he now?
I told you I don't know. I don't know.
Do you know what we want him for?
No,
We think he killed a policeman.
that's not so.
We wish it weren't. Now, the more you try to cover up for him, the more trouble you're going to get yourself into, young lady.
I'm not trying to cover up because there's nothing to cover up.
All right. I know you've been in touch with Roy Wood.
Please.
I know it. Matter of fact, while the sergeant was bringing you down here, a Western Union messenger boy knocked on your door. You didn't know that we have a couple of men watching your house day and night, did you?
I don't know anything.
And that Western Union messenger boy, when there wasn't any answer, he slipped a telegram under your door. Would you like to read it? Here. Go on, open it up, Ellen. And you still tell me you haven't been in touch with Roy?
All right. I just don't want to see him hurt. That's all. I don't want to see him hurt.
If you don't want to see him hurt or anybody else, then you'll help us.
How?
He sent you a wire to meet him on the corner of Broadway and Pratt tonight. You will meet him.
Please. Can't you do it some other way? Do you have to get me involved in it?
You said you didn't want to see him hurt. This is the easiest way we can take him. For him, for us, and for you.
But All right. What do you want me to do?
You go home now. You wait until 10 minutes after 8. Then you'll walk out the front door. You'll walk down Pratt Street to Broadway. And you'll stand on the corner in front of the drugstore.
Please, Lieutenant,
You'll stand on the corner in front of the drugstore. We don't know whether he'll drive or take a cab or walk, but we do know for sure he's got a gun on him. We'll be all around there. When Roy Wood shows up, you'll drop your purse.
Drop my purse?
That's the sign to us that it is Roy Wood. I'm warning you, Helen. There'll be our men all around. You don't want to see Roy hurt. He won't get hurt if you carry off your part as you're supposed to.
And now back to Gangbusters.
Well, Gangbusters listeners, at precisely 8:15 that night, the girl Helen waited in front of the drugstore on the busy corner of Broadway and Pratt. The eyes of several teams of detectives were fastened on the approaches to the intersection, waiting for Roy Wood to appear. As the minutes passed, she stood firm, until finally she saw the fugitive crossing the street.
Hello, honey. How are you?
Hello, Roy.
Well, what's the matter? Are you glad to see me?
Yes, I am glad.
Look, I've got a car parked on the block. Let's go, huh?
Roy, listen to me.
Well, come on. We can't stand here all night.
Roy, I don't want to see you hurt.
I won't. Here, I'll pick up your purse.
No, that's all right. I think it's best, Roy. I really do.
You think what's best?
All right, Wood, don't make a move.
Hey, what are you...
For a police officer.
Let me go, will you?
Hold still there. Uh-huh. Is this the gun you used to kill him?
You turned me in, didn't you, you little
No,
rotten...
Roy. Honest, I didn't. I just didn't want you hurt.
Go on home.
Don't you worry about her, Wood. You just come with us.
That, Gangbusters listeners, was exactly how this killer was taken by detectives of the Baltimore Police Department. He was placed on trial a short time later and convicted of first-degree murder. Roy Wood is now in a death cell at the Maryland State Penitentiary, awaiting hanging.
Thank you, Chief Inspector M. Joseph Wallace, for this insight into how Baltimore police conducted the difficult murder investigation. And congratulations to Captain of Detectives Henry J. Criss and all the officers who participated in the investigation leading to the arrest of this killer. Tonight's case was dramatized by Stanley Niss and directed by William Sweets, with Les Damon and Deli Ellis in leading roles. Roger Foster speaking. Gangbusters is a Phillips H. Lord production.
Improved K-Sight tune-up, the tune-up in a can. Morning, sir. Help you?
I hope so.
Engine, huh?
Hasn't got the pickup of a kitty car.
Well, it's misfiring some.
Some? Mister, half my plugs are on strike.
Improved case-side tune-up. The tune-up in a can. Yeah, probably your rings are sticking, maybe your valves. When was that carburetor cleaned?
Not too recently.
Improved case-side tune-up. The tune-up in a can. Your car's not in such bad shape. All you need's a tune-up.
A tune-up? A $50 tune-up?
Now, relax. We'll add a can of case-side tune-up to your gasoline, another can to your oil. That'll clean your whole firing zone. Valves, rings, plugs, carburetor, everything.
Mister, you're pouring it on.
No, you pour it in. $1.25 a can at most any service station. Results guaranteed or double your money back. Improved case-side tune-up. The tune-up in a can.
Keep it tuned right here to Hojo Radio for more classic old-time radio.
Now, in cooperation with police and federal law enforcement departments throughout the United States, the only national program that brings you authentic police case history, Gangbusters.
We'll begin tonight's exciting story in just a moment. And now, another episode of As the Spoon Turns, or Kava Clutches. Joel is pacing back and forth across the kitchen floor. Dark clouds scud across his brow. Nettie whimpers softly in a corner of the room.
It's not just your coffee, Nettie.
No.
It's the last 12 years.
Oh, whimper.
Will Joel leave? Will Nettie switch to Kava, the only 90% acid-neutralized instant coffee on or in the market?
Kava tastes plain good. It's not bitter. I think when they neutralized the acid in it, they sort of took those nasty sharp corners off the taste.
Nettie?
Joel?
Nettie?
Kava?
Have a cup of Kava. What a cup of coffee.
Oh, have 2 cups.
This incident was brought to you by Kava, the great, smooth-tasting instant coffee with the really ugly label. Kava from Borden.
And so we present Louis J. Valentine, former commissioner of the largest police force in the world, who will interview by proxy the Honorable Fred N. Hauser, District Attorney of Los Angeles County, California. Commissioner Valentine.
Mr. Hauser, I know that tonight's case is about one of the cruelest killers of the last decade.
Commissioner Valentine, the facts of tonight's case are almost unbelievable. During January of last year, such police flashes as the following were cracking out over the California airwaves.
Attention, Al Simioni, most dangerous gunman at large today. Epidemic of vicious holdups along California coast. Simioni cutting with penitentiary. Simioni, burglary December 4th, 1930. Rearrested, sent to San Quentin, 1933. Assault with deadly weapon. Attempt to commit murder, 1933. Killer, age 32, 6 feet, 150 pounds, slender build, dark complexion, piercing eyes. This man is fanatically cunning. Approach with caution.
Hello, darling.
Oh, Al.
Listen, baby, I'm treating you to a late dinner tonight.
Well, then I can see you tonight.
Yeah. The Flamingo Club for dinner and dancing.
Oh.
Get a table about 11 tonight. Now, look, if I'm a little late, order a big dinner for us, huh? Steaks, ice cream.
Working late again, darling?
Yeah.
Al, I'm crazy for you.
You know me for 1 week, and you're crazy for me.
You know I am.
Okay, Louise, have a big dinner ordered. I like a big dinner after I finish my work. Hey, this is a nice place you got here.
Well, we like all people to be happy and gay in Ash's Cafe.
Well, to gaiety and to life.
And to the success of... Stranger, put away that gun.
All of you stay right where you are. This is a hold up. You were the owner. Open a cash register.
You're joking.
Open the cash register.
But you've been sitting at the bar drinking for an hour. You're a friend. You're joking.
I'm late for an appointment. Open that cash register. All the money.
This is all of it.
Turn your back and close the register.
Why should I close it?
Turn your back and close the register. If anyone moves, I'll kill them, too. I'm late for a dinner appointment. So long, folks.
Emergency. Killing at Ash's Bar. Wanton murder of proprietor. Killer, slight of build. Black hair. Dressed as fashion plate. Has nervous habit of clearing throat. Description fits that of lone gunman Simioni. This killer is fiendishly cunning. Sound a general alarm. This man must be taken dead or alive.
Oh, darling, I've ordered the most wonderful dinner for us. La Flamingo is best.
You like that, huh?
Steaks, French fries, and broccoli with hollandaise.
Only a brunette would know what a man loves to eat.
You really like brunettes better than blondes, Al?
I never looked twice except at a brunette.
Well, you're terrific. I've only known you a week, but I'd die for you.
What a charming way to make love.
Al, why were you so late coming tonight? What business are you in?
Well, you laugh.
Why?
I'm a toy salesman. I sell children's toys.
No, why would I laugh at that?
That was why I was late tonight. I had to meet a man at the cafe. I could make more money, but the pleasure of knowing when you sell toys, little children will play with them and be happy.
Oh, Al, you're so sweet. I didn't know there were men like you.
Didn't you?
No. But you do make money out of it, Al. You always seem to have so much money.
The way I got things planned, baby, I'm going to have lots more. This is a holdup. Quiet.
It's the Blackhead Bandit.
You've all been hearing of police flashes recently. You know I shoot quick if anyone moves. It's strange, a woman tending bar.
I am Mrs. Ortega. My husband owns this tavern. I only do it sometimes to help him.
Your husband here tonight?
Yes, in the back room. Miss Ortega was a veteran of World War I. We have a son who's fighting in the Pacific now.
That's nice. Somebody turn the radio on. I like to have music. Thanks, that's the idea. Now, Mrs. Ortega, open a cash register.
I will not do it. My husband and I work hard for our money.
The music sounds pretty. Now let's have the music of the cash register opening.
No.
Oh, shoot.
You shoot the mother of a boy who's fighting for your country. He will hear you not dare talk to me like this.
But he isn't here.
Don't you just talk to my wife. No. I stand in front of her.
Oh, dramatic, son. Well, you're the one I wanted anyhow. Forget the cash register. Open the safe.
I will open it. You can have everything there is.
Suits me. Open it.
There. Take it.
Scoop it up and give it to me. Put it in this bag. Now you'll turn your back and close the safe.
You have everything. Now go and leave off.
I said to close the safe.
It's all right.
My husband! My husband! You got my husband! Oh, my God.
All patrol cars. Murder. Ortega Cafe, 5124 Madison Road. Gunman, slight, black hair, immaculately dressed, shot and killed proprietor Louis Ortega. In Investigate at once. Description fits killer Simioni. Squad 4, proceed to section and block off.
Well, I'm here on the bench.
Oh, it's so dark I didn't see you, Alan.
Gee, I've been so scared waiting for you.
Yeah.
Come on, sit down.
What's the matter, honey? No cute little blonde. Never ought to be scared.
Well, the park's so dark and you're late. And all of a sudden I heard the sounds of police cars.
Oh. Yeah, some unscrupulous person probably pulled a holdup.
Oh, I was foolish. Now you're here, I'm not afraid.
I love blondes.
No brunettes?
I hate brunettes.
I'm afraid you swept me off my feet, Al. 5 days and you're it.
Good. I had a little work to do, but I've looked forward all evening to meet you out here on the park bench.
Al, what do you do for a living?
Me? Oh, you'll laugh if I tell you.
No, I won't.
I'm a salesman for artificial limbs.
Limbs?
Artificial limbs, legs, arms. I don't know, it gives me a feeling of worthwhileness, bringing happiness to people who are unfortunate.
Oh, Al, you do.
I could make more money other ways, but what's money beside the finer things in life?
Al, you're wonderful.
Well, I don't think I'm so good, but what's my opinion against thousands?
There goes the police siren again.
Are you nervous?
Of course not. Not with you here.
It's just a police car, probably hunting down some gunman.
Well, I hope they get him, too.
Sure. They're probably after that gunman who's been doing a lot of killing in cafes.
Oh,
but don't worry, honey. You got me right here to look after you. I got a lot of plans, baby. And you're in every one of them.
Mr. Hauser, I certainly agree with you that Al Simioni was one of the cruelest killers of the past decade. I know you have many more interesting facts to tell us.
We'll return to tonight's exciting story on Gangbusters following
Sue,
this
it's almost
brief pause.
too good to be true. You remember how every time Jack and I tried to quit smoking, we got so uptight we'd always have a big fight? Well, this time it's different. We heard about Smoking Control Centers of America. We figured, what can we lose but a nasty habit? Their program works. It really takes the agony out of quitting cigarettes. They even guarantee it or you get your money back. We figure we're saving about $50 a month and our lives.
Smoking is more than just a nasty habit. Smoking causes cancer, emphysema, heart disease, and about 300,000 needless deaths each year. If you really want to quit smoking but just can't kick it alone, call Smoking Control Centers of America. We can help you quit for life. We guarantee you'll be a non-smoker in just 5 days, or we'll refund your money. In Dallas, call 522-9320. That's 522-9320.
Now back to Gangbusters and Commissioner Valentine.
With killer Al Simioni loose, Mr. Hauser, I know the district attorney's office as well as the police were faced with quite a problem.
We certainly were, Commissioner, because Simone combined the worst features of a master criminal. He was vicious, tricky, unpredictable. One particular instance should be noted.
Another scotch and soda, lady, up this way.
Quiet, everyone, please. There's a special announcement coming on over the radio.
We are breaking in on this program to make a very special announcement. The killer who has been operating in cafes and taverns is still at large. We ask all cafe owners and tavern owners to keep as little cash in their safes as possible. Special plainclothes detectives are covering many California cafes. This killer who has been causing a reign of terror is vicious. Now we will continue with our program.
Turn off the radio. It is too depressing. There's some music, please.
You know, if that killer came in here, I'd give him a clip on the jaw and knock him flat.
Oh, don't talk that way.
No, I would. He's probably yellow through and through.
It is the man who talks too loud who is the most frightened.
Yeah, well, I still say I'd hit him with my fist and knock him out. Yeah.
Do not talk so loud, too. The people are laughing at you, and they...
An amusing way I have. You think I'm the braggart. No, I'm him. Open the cash register.
Don't shoot. Don't. I will give you all the money we have.
Open it.
Yes. Yes, I will open it.
I've been watching this place. You have extra money in here.
You will take that money from us. So hard my husband and me work.
Don't get him angry, Mama. Let him take all the money and go away.
No. He worked for it too hard.
Don't make a move, anybody.
You shot my wife. My wife.
Shot me. Don't I'll shoot anyone else who tries to stop me.
Emergency, double shooting, Southgate Cafe. Mrs. Gertrude Nelson in serious condition. Mr. Frank Nelson, her husband, has died. Killer, slight of build, black hair, immaculately dressed, fiendishly cunning. This killer must be caught, dead or alive. Special officers are being assigned to all cafe districts.
Simioni. You look strange, Fingers. The last time I saw you, there were bars in front of you.
The same to you. See, you're hot, Simioni. The cops are sending out flashes about you every night.
But I'm like the ghost who disappears. I can use your Fingers.
How'd you get in my room here? How'd you know where I was?
I have ways. Mind if I put this bag of eggs down here on the bed?
Eggs?
Yeah. I was on my way home. I get hungry sometimes after jobs, so I buy a few eggs and carry them around in this little paper bag.
You go nuts?
Don't move quick in the bed and break them, Fingers. Maybe if I put them under the covers with you, you might hatch them, huh?
Am I awake or are you a nightmare?
Fingers, I've thought up a new racket, and I can use you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've pulled my last holdup of taverns and cafes. I'm going to give the cops a different kind of headache. Look, all over Los Angeles, they have check cashing stations.
Yeah, they got banks, too. So what?
At all the big industrial plants, they got checkbooks.
So?
So these big corporations make checks out to the employees. The employees go to any one of a couple of hundred cash windows and cash their checks.
Go on. You're getting interesting.
There are so many of these places, the cops couldn't possibly cover them all. Now, if I had a light-fingered man who could visit a lot of corporations and pick up a lot of loose checks, I could forge the checks, go to one of these cashing booths, and, shall we say, cash in?
Brother, this ain't no nightmare. It's a dream.
So says what?
So says you're good.
So says your dozen fingers, huh?
What do I get?
10%.
It's a deal. Good for a couple of grand a week. Oh, careful. I hope I didn't break those eggs in your little paper bag.
Look inside and see. What do you think of my bag of eggs?
My gun, 38. What a beaut. What a gag.
Yeah. I walk around like a little stuffed shirt with my little paper bag held in front of me. If the cops should start trailing me, I'd drop the little paper bag. It isn't mine. I don't know what's inside, and they can't hold me for carrying concealed weapons.
And when you go to a window to cash a check?
I'll place my little paper bag on the window, and if there's any trouble, there's the little gun right at my hand.
You're crazy, Simioni. Crazy. Crazy like a fox.
I have a hunch, Fingers, this little check cashing racket's going to have the cops a-popping.
Pardon me. Pretend you know me.
I'll scream. Or shout for an officer.
I am an officer. Here's my badge.
Oh.
This is very confidential. I know who you are. A cashier at the Acme Check Cashing Service.
What? Yeah.
We're contacting you this way so as not to place you in any danger. Shake hands with me.
Yeah.
That's a picture I'm putting in your hand. A picture of a criminal we're after. If he stops at your cash window, tell him you can't cash his check. But to go to the check cashing window in the terminal building. You understand?
Yes, sir.
That's all you need to know. I didn't want to contact you at your home. Thank you, that's all.
Hello?
This is the Los Angeles Police. Mr. Henry?
Why, yes?
We're mailing you a picture. Please keep it in the strictest confidence.
What do you mean?
A picture of a criminal. If this man comes to your check cashing window, tell him you can't cash his check. You'll have to go to the check cashing window in the terminal building.
I'll do anything you say, sir.
The picture will arrive by mail in the morning. Please keep this in the strictest confidence.
Yes, I shall be glad to, sir. Headquarters.
Captain, this is Inspector Harwood.
Yes, Inspector.
There are scores of check cashing windows in Los Angeles. Now, between the district attorney's office and our own department, we've contacted almost every clerk. If this black-haired killer goes to one of these windows to cash any more of those bogus checks, I think there's going to be fireworks.
Good work, Inspector. We've laid enough traps, but he's avoided every one. We've got to get him before he murders any more people. And if we can, take him alive.
Well, I'm going to cover the terminal building myself, sir. And if he's sent there...
Yes, what's your plan?
The way the terminal building is built, I'll have to be 100 feet away from the booth. But I've had my shoes rubbers, soled, and heeled. I think I can make a run and hit him with a flying tackle.
He's quick as a cat with a gun.
He's going to have to be this time, sir, because I want to keep on living, too.
Well, hello.
Good morning.
I want to cash a check. And don't knock this paper bag of eggs off your window ledge.
I didn't know eggs were so scarce. You men had to carry them around with you.
Fresh ones are. I have a wage check I want to cash.
Well, let me see it.
So don't you get lonesome sitting in that booth all by yourself?
Sometime.
All right, here, then. Here.
You, work for the oil company?
Oh, yes.
$250, huh?
I'm a scientist.
You are?
A scientist who loves redheads.
Flatterer. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm afraid you'll have to go down to the terminal building to cash this.
Why?
Well, we're a little low on funds. I'm sorry, sir. The terminal building.
There's a cashier's booth there, like this one.
Oh, you can't miss it. It's right in the middle of the building.
All right.
Oh, don't forget your bag of eggs.
I got a weakness for redheads.
Have you?
Look, after I get my check cashed, suppose I come back and see you.
Well, maybe.
We could have a lot of fun.
All right, I tell you, you cash your check down there, and if you aren't doing anything afterward, come back and see me.
It's a date, Red. You'll be seeing me.
Maybe. Operator, give me the terminal building, quick.
Is this the terminal check cashing window?
Yes.
I've got a check on that cash.
Certainly.
I'll just put this bag of eggs up on the shelf here.
Well, don't drop them now. I don't want any scrambled eggs at this window.
Now, this is a paycheck of $250.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Right here.
This is your signature?
It is.
That's nice. You worked there long?
Oh, about 5 years. I'm in the research department.
You must like that work.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Can you cash the check?
Oh, yes. Let me see now. I've got to get my money out. What identification do you have?
Well, I have my card, so I can show you some of my...
Good work, Inspector. He's our cold, Captain. What a football tackle. He's a slippery article, Inspector. He had his gun in his bag.
I'll get these cuffs on him.
Inspector, you've tackled the cruelest killer on the West Coast, and he still doesn't know what struck him.
He will, though, by the time the courts get through with him. That's why I wanted him alive, so they could give him what he's got coming to him.
What hit me? What hit me?
The law, Simioni. The law.
Well, Commissioner Valentine, Simioni was convicted of murder. And just 3 weeks ago today, he was taken into the death room of San Quentin Penitentiary at 10 in the morning. 8.5 minutes later, Simioni was pronounced
dead. Dead.
Thank you, Mr. Hauser, for telling us the facts in tonight's case. Clever as Simioni was, he wasn't clever enough to beat the combined forces of the law.
Tonight's Gangbusters case was dramatized by Stanley Niss and directed by Leonard L. Bass, with Mandel Kramer and Fran Lafferty in leading roles. Roger Foster speaking. Gangbusters is a Phillips H. Lord production.
Everybody's working at top speed these days. The times demand the best we've got. And the best, when it comes to coffee, is measured in terms of flavor. The demands we place upon coffee today are greater than ever before. Every cup must measure up. Every sip must hit the spot. Now, not only to fill its all-important place as part of a good meal, but for the boost fine coffee gives, the lift to help you get things done. And besides that, since the shortage makes rationing necessary, each cup should make up in excellence for the cups we don't get in between. Now, to fill the bill and more than fill it, get Chase and Sanborn coffee. You'll marvel that a single cup can hold so much delicious flavor. The secret is that Chase and Sanborn is more than one coffee. It's the finer ones blended. And today, our experts are turning out the richest, most satisfying, most flavorful blend of our entire history. You want all the flavor you can get, so get all the flavor you can. Every time you part with a precious ration coupon, ask for Chase and Sanborn. Naturally, nowadays, with so many others buying Chase and Sanborn, too, your grocer may sometimes run out. If he should, please understand and cooperate. And the next time, be sure to ask again for Chase and Sanborn coffee.
Hojo Radio, where the classics come alive.
This is your FBI. This is your FBI, an official broadcast from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, presented as a public service by the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States. To your FBI, you look for national security, and to the Equitable Society for financial security. These two great institutions are dedicated to the protection of you, your home, and your country. Tonight, the story of a crime against our nation. Espionage.
(1939). That year, the continent of Europe already echoed the cries of people under aggression. On the continent of Asia, far beyond our western shores, was Japan. A dedicated nation, a dedicated people, dedicated to war upon the United States. But we did not know this yet. Within our western gates were more Japs, thousands of them. Were they dedicated to being good American citizens, or were there among them some dedicated to our destruction? Here was a vital task for the FBI. The safety and security of America might depend on what they found out. A Sunday afternoon in 1939, two FBI agents from the San Francisco office
stood on a pier at the San Francisco waterfront watching a Japanese cruiser warp into the dock.
How big would you figure that crowd, Jim?
Oh, I'd say, at least 1,000.
Pretty excited for Japs, aren't they?
Well, this is a big day for them, Larry. Doesn't often they get a chance to pay their respects to a big shot from Japan.
I know.
Larry, is this Prince Suji a member of the royal family?
Yes.
They sure are giving him the Sunday bows, all right.
Funny how they conform to that caste system of theirs. That first line that shook hands with the prince were all top bracket boys.
I know, I've checked them off. Japanese Consul General, head of the Jap Association, leaders of the prefectural groups. Second line was a middle bracket bunch, bankers, nip businessmen.
All they got from the good prince was a nod.
Well, that's more than the small fry are getting now. There's housewives and farmers.
They bow, and the prince doesn't even acknowledge their presence. Hey. Look at that bull-necked little man in the chauffeur's uniform.
What about it?
You notice something? He's not cringing or bowing. He's standing in line with his head up and shoulders back like a soldier.
Oh, yes.
Hey, did you see that?
Yes.
The prince bowed to him.
I know.
I don't like that, Jim. They don't play it that way in their league. Princes don't go around bowing to chauffeurs.
Unless our chauffeur is a big shot back in Japan.
Yes. That's something you and I better check on.
One Jap bowing to another Jap. A pair of striped pants and cutaway coat bowing to a chauffeur's uniform. The two FBI agents, troubled by what they saw, investigated and learned the chauffeur's name and background. Then they took their information to the agent in charge of the San Francisco office of the FBI.
That's the story, Mr. Walker.
A prince bowing to a chauffeur. That is unusual.
Yes.
Did you follow this man?
Yes, sir. He lives at the Osaka Hotel.
His name?
Yasu Kajioka.
Did you learn anything about his work?
Yes, he drives a big Cadillac. He owns it. He runs some sort of escort service with headquarters at the hotel.
Anything else on him?
We found out that he's been a very active worker for many of the local Japanese associations.
Well, I think we should do a thorough check on Mr. Kajioka's activities.
Won't be too easy. We could use some help.
From whom?
Someone of his own race. A Japanese who is loyal to us.
Well, we might try the university. They have quite a few Japanese-American students there.
That's a good idea.
Suppose I arrange with the Dean of Studies out there for you to have a talk with him.
Fine.
I'll get him on the phone right now.
The two FBI agents spent almost an entire day with the Dean of Studies at the university. They pored over the personal records of many Japanese-American students and finally narrowed down their choice to one man, a student by the name of Tom Tanaka. His record showed he lived in the same neighborhood as the Jap chauffeur.
Gentlemen, have you reached a decision?
Yes, sir. This man, Tom Tanaka, looks good to us.
Well, I think you've made an excellent choice.
He lives in the same neighborhood as the man we want watched. If he measures up in other ways, that's a definite plus.
I understand.
You realize, sir, how important it is to us that we be able to trust this boy implicitly?
Yes, I do.
We've got to know if he's loyal, if he's a real American at heart, if he thinks and acts like an American.
There are thousands of men and women who live here on the West Coast, Mr. Schuyler, who look Japanese and are the sons and daughters of Japanese. But I know them as true Americans. They're as loyal as any of us whose ancestors were German, English, French, Irish, or whatever. I say that this boy is an American just as you or I.
Good. Can we meet him at once?
Tom, I imagine your dean has told you that we're special agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Yes, sir. He has.
We've selected you, son, from the list of the entire enrollment of Japanese Americans here at the university.
As a student?
No. No, as an American.
Well, what about it? I am an American.
We believe you are, in every sense of the word.
Has somebody been talking about me?
No.
Then what's this all about, sir?
Tom, we want you to help us.
How?
In a very important, perhaps very dangerous way.
You want me to work with the FBI?
Yes.
Do you know a man called Kajioka? Yasu Kajioka?
Oh, yes, we're neighbors. I helped him compose letters in English. Several times.
Good. Well, do you remember you?
I think so. He said once that he might give me a job doing secretarial work in my spare time. Why do you ask me about Kajioka?
We need a loyal Japanese American like yourself to help us investigate this man. We want to know if he is connected with any un-American activities.
What do you want me to do?
Help us to get information. Tom, all we want are facts.
I see.
You said that you know Kajioka. That he offered you a job once. We want you to go to him. Take the job.
We're giving you the opportunity to do this as an American, Tom.
Well, what would I say to Kajioka? How would I ask for the job?
You'd tell him that you're in need of money to finish your studies. If he hired you, you'd undertake at once to impress him with your love of Japan and the Japanese.
We don't want you to put your life in danger. You'd be cautious, never inquisitive.
What do you say, son?
I'll do it.
No. What do you want, young man?
I want to talk to you, Mr. Kajioka.
What about, please?
A job.
Why?
To earn some money.
Why do you come to me, lowly chauffeur, if you need money?
You told me someday you might give me a job.
Oh, yes. Why you want to earn money?
To keep up my studies.
You got father, mother.
I don't want to ask them.
So, but you ask lowly chauffeur. Why?
Everyone says good things of Kajioka.
Oh, good. You hear perhaps I visit cruiser.
They say Kajioka was greatly honored.
Oh, so, they say correctly. Please, you sit down.
Thank you.
Now, how you think?
What do you mean?
It could be important for me to know.
I think Japanese.
Oh, so. And what are those thoughts, please?
I love my people. I love Japan.
So, I think maybe you lie.
Why should I? Who can read my thoughts?
Oh, very, very good. Yes.
Will you give me a job?
Yes. You work for me now. Come every day. I'll try to read your thoughts. Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Once the all-important inside contact had been made, many FBI agents took up the trail. They learned that Kajioka always drove Japs who were easily identified as high-ranking naval officers on vacation. They learned that he was the head of a secret Jap organization on the West Coast, the Hamushikai, boasting over 10,000 members, all eligible for military service in Japan. The society masked itself as a charitable one. Charity in the sense that thousands and thousands of dollars were drafted from the members and sent back to Japan. Why? The answer came quickly and dramatically. One night, on a street corner, young Tom Tanaka reported to the special agents of the FBI.
Tom.
Yes, sir.
Here we are.
I haven't much time, sir. I've got to get back.
What have you got, son?
Something big is cooking. There's a great meeting called in the basement of the Japanese high school for tonight. Kajioka will make an appeal to get more funds to send back to Japan.
I see.
Also, they are to show preparedness movies sent over from Japan.
Are you supposed to attend this meeting?
Yes. Kajioka will expect it.
Tom.
Yes, sir.
We need a list of the members in that organization. Practically everything depends on our getting it. Do you think you could go to the meeting, get the list, and get away alive?
Yes. The pictures may go on about 8 o'clock. I'll try and sneak out and meet you here then.
Good boy.
Good luck. We'll be waiting.
We momentarily close the Federal Bureau of Investigation file on Kajioka, enemy alien. We will reopen this file in just a moment. Yesterday, Thomas I. Parkinson, president of the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States, received an interesting letter. It was from a member of the Equitable Society, and it read, Mr. Parkinson, just how many businesses is the Equitable Society in, anyway? Our radio program talks about millions of equitable dollars invested in war bonds, and more millions in key war industries like shipyards and railroads, in oil, steel, and aluminum. Friends tell me how the Equitable Society helps keep kids in school and helps people own their own homes and farms. It all sounds mighty complex to me. Yes, investing the premium dollars of 3,200,000 members of the Equitable Society is of necessity a very complicated operation. For safety's sake, those equitable funds have to be spread out widely, must go into thousands of different enterprises. And yet all this is done to make it easy and simple for Equitable Society members to attain greater security for themselves and their loved ones. And so, you see, by employing its funds in all kinds of activities that are useful to the nation as a whole, the Equitable Society is able to offer sounder and safer protection to its members than any one member could achieve by his own unaided efforts. By serving its members, the Equitable Society serves America. And now, back to the file on Kajioka, Enemy Alien.
$1939. In that year, there wasn't even a slight buzzing in our ears to warn us that enemy planes were warming up for an attack. There was nothing in the word protocol to make us think of anything but where the wife of some ambassador might have to sit at some state dinner. Yet 2 men of the FBI, standing on a dock at San Francisco, had seen in a bit of Jap protocol enough to make their blood run cold. Enough to make them, on their own initiative as Americans, set up a series of patient, exhaustive, dangerous investigations which inched down 1939 through 1940 and brought them on the evening of February 3rd, 1941, to stand tense in a darkened hallway near a high school in the Jap section of San Francisco.
Watch it, Jim. Don't let that streetlight hit you.
I've counted about 2,000 have gone into that meeting so far.
Still coming. Kajioka sure must have passed the word along. What time is it?
Almost 7:45.
Looks like the meeting is getting started.
Somebody coming along. See that shadow?
Pull back here.
It's Tom.
Tom, here. Oh, hello. We've got a wonderful break. Kajioka forgot to bring the records. He wants me to go to his house and get them and bring them to the meeting.
What part of the meeting is on now?
They're going to run off the movies.
How long will that take?
Until about 9:15.
Good. I'll go with you. Get the records. Bring them to the FBI office. We'll have them photographed and back in your hands by 9 o'clock.
Can you do it that soon?
We've got to. Jim.
Yes?
You stay here. Call the office. Tell them what we have to do. Ask for the entire staff to stand by.
Right.
I'll drive Tom over.
It's going to be tight going.
I know. But this is the first break we've gotten, and it may be the only one. Let's go.
While the movies whipped the Japanese audience up with blatant pictures of Japan's armed might, while distinguished visitors sat rigidly straight in the front rows, their cropped heads marking them high officers of the Emperor's Army and Navy, while almost 3,000 sons of Nippon shared a new sense of oneness, of dedication to Emperor and country, an alerted FBI office, brilliant with lights, crowded with 100% staff, worked feverishly to photograph the secret documents and make the deadline.
I don't think we can wait any longer, Mr. Logan. It's 8:54.
I know.
I've got to be back to the hall before the lights are turned up.
We'll make it.
1 minute to deadline. How are you counting?
2 more sheets. The others are finished.
Come on, men. Hurry it up.
Please, you've got to give me the originals. I can't wait. The movie ends at 9:15.
Let's start correlating pages in the original. You know how they go, Tom?
Yes, sir.
I'll grab them as fast as they're finished.
Number 2 is finished. Come on, snap up on number 3 machine.
Please, hurry.
Hold an elevator.
Right. Here you are. This is the final.
Thanks. We'll put them together in the car.
It's 8:55.
Let's go. We'll just make it.
Mr. Kajioka.
Where have you been? It took you a long time to get papers.
I stood in the back of the hall to see the pictures. I thrilled with the people.
Give me the records.
Here you are, sir.
Good. I have news. We have received orders to change names of all branch chapters of our organization, and we must at once seem to stop our activities.
Why?
Why? Because soon glorious Japan will win honor or downfall, and we are ordered to prepare for duty as soldiers behind the guns.
The FBI had everything it needed now on Brother Kajioka. His position as head of the secret society. His activities as chauffeur deluxe for visiting Japanese officers. His role as collector extraordinary of funds for the Japanese war machine. His devious role as espionage agent. Everything the FBI needed except the right to go out and arrest him. Under our way of government, we do not go about arresting citizens of friendly nations. The FBI could watch and wait. And to add insult to injury, while it fretted over its watching and waiting, one of the FBI agents had reason to phone in to the agent in charge of the San Francisco Bureau.
Yes? This is Logan.
Yes, Larry.
Jim and I have been following Kajioka.
Yes?
We followed him from the Osaka Hotel. He drove straight to Sutter Street.
Yeah?
Parked his car, proceeded on foot to 111 Sutter Street.
Why, well, that's our building here.
I know.
Well, where did Kajioka go?
He's in your foyer, waiting to see you.
He's what? Oh, thanks, Larry. Bye. Yes?
Mr. Kajioka to see you, sir.
Send Mr. Kajioka right in.
Mr. Walker?
Yes. What can I do for you?
I am Kajioka.
Sit down, Kajioka. Now, what do you want to see me about?
I come to FBI because I am honorable man.
I see.
I wish to offer my services to the United States.
Why?
I hate Japanese.
Oh? Tell me about it.
I was born in Japan. One time in Japan, they arrested my father. He was a good man, harmed nobody. They say he was disloyal, but they have no proof, and it is a lie.
What happened to him?
I never see him again. They murder my father.
And so you hate Japanese?
Yes, very much. I would be good agent for FBI.
What makes you think so?
Japanese government tried to get me to work against United States. You know how it is. You have information on certain secret Japanese organizations here. No?
A little.
Oh, that is too bad. With me, you get to know much. I know all Japanese tricks. I make valuable agents.
Perhaps you would, Mr. Kajioka.
You think about it. And remember, I want to work for United States. Great country. I work for FBI and kill many Japs.
Well, we're not interested in killing Japs nor anyone else.
Sometime it will be necessary. Then you tell Kajioka what to do, where to go. And he goes.
Well, thank you very much for your offer, Mr. Kajioka. We'll take it under consideration, and we'll let you know in due time.
Thank you. So much.
Not at all. It will be a pleasure.
Mr. Kajioka might have smelled a rat. That is, if a rat can smell himself. But his surprising offer was politely refused, and his intensified wanderings by day and night were as equally matched by the more intensified watching by the many electricians and workmen, laundrymen, truck drivers, cabmen, innocent motorists, who sent in their reports under the names of special agents of the FBI. Still, all they could do was watch. Watch and follow the little man who was dedicated, like his country, to the destruction of America. Then came December 7th, 1941. On that fateful day, the entire staff of the FBI was gathered in tense silence in each of the Bureau's offices. In San Francisco, even the local law enforcement officers were present, waiting.
Everyone here?
Everyone, sir.
Larry, you and Jim can stand by and watch the teletype.
Right, sir.
The names are coming in from Washington. Names and addresses of enemy aliens to be picked up when the word comes through.
We'll take them.
I know a name you two will want to watch for.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Getting into the K's now.
Yeah.
Hello? Yes, sir. Right. That's the word. Get going.
K is in Kajioka. K is in Kajioka. Come on, teletype.
There it is. Capital K for Kajioka, the little rat. We got him now. Come on.
Otto, now you see who I am. Major Kajioka. Yes. How do I look in my uniform top?
Very well, sir.
Yes. No more lowly chauffeur. Glorious Japan has struck. American fleet. No more. Pearl Harbor. No more. All gone. Soon planes come. Then transport.
Yes.
I have 2 revolvers. See? Oiled and loaded. I give you one. Soon our soldiers march in the streets. And you and I will go out and kill every dirty American we see. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. You watch at the window. Tell me when you see planes. Tell me when you see glorious soldiers of our brave army. I will pour drink for ceremonial toast.
Yes, sir. I'll keep watch.
Soon I will be colonel, then general. Wait until you see how they will reward me for what I've done. I will be big man.
Yes, of course.
I hear planes. Do you see them yet?
Not yet.
Listen, our soldiers are coming. I drink to glorious Japan. They are here. Come in. Banzai!
Come on, Kajioka. Uncle Sam wants to see you about a place called Pearl Harbor.
Kajioka was rounded up with thousands of his kind. Rounded up with the aid of a loyal Japanese American. Like the rest, Kajioka wondered how the FBI had known of his work. Does he remember that little incident back in 1939 when a pair of striped pants and a cutaway coat bowed to a chauffeur's uniform on the hard deck of a Japanese cruiser? Probably not. He wouldn't understand the things that make Americans tick. The American willingness of those who serve our country in the ranks of the FBI. No, Kajioka probably will never understand until it's too late. And how will he ever know that it was too late that day back in 1939?
You'll hear about the disposition of this case in just a minute. On the beaches of Normandy, our boys were seeing the latest movies 24 hours after landing. And not long ago on a Pacific island, 2 Japanese snipers were captured when they tried to join a GI audience to see an American film. Yes, movies follow the flag because Uncle Sam knows that they're first-rate morale builders for battle-weary men. So will you join the Equitable Society in a salute to the motion picture industry? A salute to the daring cameramen who risked their lives in every American attack. To the technical men who developed special equipment to photograph Tokyo from 45,000 feet in the air. To the actors, musicians, and directors who made tens of thousands of valuable training films for our armed forces. And to the 16,000 theater managers who have sold millions of war bonds in every drive. Members of the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States will be proud to learn that their premium dollars have helped finance this great industry, which has proved such a vital asset to the nation at war. For years, the Equitable Society has invested in the motion picture industry, as well as in other essential American industries and American agriculture. Yes, in wartime, Equitable Society dollars are fighting dollars. And at all times, they are security dollars. For you, your home, and your country.
As an enemy alien, Yasu Kajioka was placed in an internment camp to remain there for the duration of the war with Japan.
The incidents used in tonight's broadcast are taken from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. However, all names used are fictitious, and any similarity thereof to the names of persons living or dead is accidental. Programs in this series of particular interest to servicemen and women are broadcast overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Tonight, Kajioka was played by Ted Osborne. The music was under the direction of Van Cleve. The author was Frank Wilson, and your narrator was Frank Lovejoy. This Is Your FBI is a Jerry Devine production. Now, this is Carl Frank, speaking for the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States, and inviting you to tune in again next week at this same time for This Is Your FBI.
All right, everybody, it's time to sound off for Chesterfield.
Sound off! Sound off! Sound off for Chesterfield! From Maine to California, smokers are changing every day. All over America there's a swing to Chesterfield with this great new thing. Mildness plus, no aftertaste. Mildness plus, no aftertaste. No unpleasant aftertaste in Chesterfield. That's right. Science discovered what you can prove. You better get into the smoking groove. For Chesterfield now sets the pace with no unpleasant aftertaste. Chesterfield. 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 Milder, 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 milder. Chesterfield. That's right. The best cigarette for you. That's right. The best cigarette for you. That's right. So here's what we want you to do. Right now. Yes, here's what we want you to do. Right now. Sound off. For Chesterfield. Sound off. For Chesterfield. Try a pack of Chesterfields. Do it. Today.
Stay tuned to Hojo Radio.
This is your FBI. This is your FBI, an official broadcast from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, presented as a public service by the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States. To your FBI, you look for national security, and to the Equitable Society for financial security. These two great institutions are dedicated to the protection of you, your home, and your country. Tonight, the story of a crime against society, the confidence game.
There are many ways for a thief to steal. There are many forms of larceny. They range from the simplest stick-up to the involved manipulations of a big-time swindle. This present war period has created a fertile field for the swindler. Increased salaries, increased employment set up a ready market for his get-rich-quick activities. On May 22nd, 1934, Congress, by passing the National Stolen Property Act, put into the hands of the FBI an effective weapon against confidence men. In spite of this, however, swindlers still pursue their losing game. Their drama is an old one, and it's worked with little variation. Its first act might begin as this one does, in the office of a respectable businessman. He is greeting a visitor.
Sit down, Mr. Perry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, warm enough for you?
I should say so. Phew. You know, I thought they called this the Windy City. I haven't even felt a breeze since I've been here.
Well, why don't you take off your coat?
Well, sir, now, I don't mind if I do. There. Oh, I feel better already.
How long are you planning to be here in Chicago, Mr. Perry?
Just long enough to complete my business with you.
You mean you came here just for that?
Exactly.
Well,
As I told you in my letter, Mr. Mitchell, this is a really big proposition.
yes, it must be. You're coming on here from New York.
Suppose I give you some of the details.
Yes, I wish you would.
Well, as you know, I'm the American representative of British Farm Equipment Limited.
Yes?
Our headquarters, of course, are in London.
Oh, I know the firm.
My principals asked me to contact you and find out just how much interest you might have in working along with us on a very ambitious post-war program.
Here in the States?
Yes. Confidentially, we plan to open a factory here as soon as possible.
I see.
And we'd like you to take charge of the plant.
Me? Me take charge?
That's right, sir.
But why should you be interested in me?
Well, we made a complete survey of all men in the farm equipment field. It should flatter you to know, Mr. Mitchell, that your name came out at the very top of the list.
You don't say.
So that's why I'm here.
Well, I certainly am flattered.
Now, I'm not authorized to close any deal with you. I merely came to sound you out and turn in a report.
Of course.
What can I tell the Home Office, Mr. Mitchell? Are you interested?
Yes, very interested.
Good. Sir Richard Barton, our financial director, is arriving in this country in the next few weeks.
Yes?
He'll undoubtedly want to get together with you. Can I cable and say that you're willing to talk to him?
Of course.
Thank you, sir. Well, this has been a very satisfying visit.
The first act in any swindle must sound completely authentic, must convince the victim, must stand up under any investigation he might make. The facts the confidence man gave regarding the farm equipment company were true, with only one exception. He did not represent the company. His victim naturally did not know this. So, several weeks later, in answer to a summons from the swindler, Mr. Mitchell traveled east to meet one Sir Richard Barton at a hotel in Newport, Rhode Island.
Some more bread, Sir Richard?
No, thank you.
And how about you, Mr. Mitchell?
I have some, thanks. What was I just talking about? The patent rights on that tractor, Sir Richard.
Oh, yes, of course. We have exclusive rights, you know. The tractors can be produced at an extremely low cost.
We can undercut the whole market.
You mean here in this country?
All over the world, Mr. Mitchell.
Where?
I can tell you confidentially that the British government is interested in our company to quite a large degree.
That we don't talk about, though.
Of course.
Frankly, that's the main reason for my visit to America.
Oh?
I have to contact your State Department on some cooperation matters. I'm doing it through our own embassy.
I see.
I may have to ask you to come to Washington with me, Mr. Mitchell.
Why?
Because of your extensive knowledge of this type of manufacture. You might be called on for some off-the-record testimony.
Well, I'd like to help any way I can.
Bully for you. I had an idea that we
Say.
might... yes? What is it?
What's this?
What?
A wallet. I felt it with my foot. It was under the table. Is it yours, Sir Richard?
No, it's not mine.
Mr. Mitchell?
No, it doesn't belong to me.
Well, what do you think I should do?
Look inside, Perry. See if there's any identification.
Oh, well, I hate to.
Well, then, here, let me have it.
Yes, sir.
Probably dropped by whoever was dining here.
Oh, I say. Look here.
What?
$1,000 bills.
Hey.
5 of them.
Golly.
Here's an identification card. Lee Jackson, Surf Hotel.
He's a guest here.
Evidently.
Pretty careless fellow.
I should say. It's fortunate for him that we were the ones who found it, eh?
Yes.
Perry, contact Mr. Jackson. After dinner, have him come to my suite, will you? Oh, answer that, will you, Perry?
Yes, sir.
Another drink, Mr. Mitchell?
Not right now, thanks.
Then I think I'll have one.
Yes?
My name is Jackson. Lee Jackson.
Oh,
You told me at the desk somebody up here found my wallet.
that's right. That's right. Come in.
Thanks.
This is the man who lost the wallet.
Oh, how are you, sir?
Okay.
You're Mr. Jackson?
That's right.
Well, I have your wallet here. I think for obvious reasons you should identify its contents.
Sure.
Will you check the items, Mr. Mitchell?
Oh, yes, of course. 5 $1,000 bills.
Mm-hmm.
Some money order receipts. 3, I think.
That's right.
An Elks card and address book. 2 letters and a racetrack badge in my name. I think that's all.
Does that tally, Mr. Mitchell?
Yes, it does.
Very well. Let him have the wallet.
Thanks.
But you're a very fortunate man, Mr. Jackson.
Don't I know it? I'd like to do something for you.
Oh, that isn't necessary.
Look, take this grand and cut it up between you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Jackson, but we're really not interested.
Definitely not. Right, Mr. Mitchell?
Of course.
Well, I got another idea.
Yes?
This you can't beef about.
Look,
I'm around racetracks, what you call a betting commissioner.
Yes?
I'll take this grand and put it on a horse for you. The right kind of a horse.
Please, Mr. Jackson.
If he wins, we cut up the profits. Now, what's wrong with that?
Well,
how about it?
What do you think, Sir Richard?
Oh, I suppose we have to make some compromise with Mr. Jackson.
And you, Mr. Mitchell?
Well, I have no objection.
Okay, gentlemen. It's a deal.
Act 2 of the swindle is always the build-up. The victim is let in on the ground floor, is given something for nothing, usually in great abundance. Mr. Jackson, the latest addition to the rapidly growing confidence ring, returned to the hotel suite the following evening. Returned with a $3,000 profit. His confederates suggested that the money be bet again. He agreed to this, and the second horse won, and the profit was $14,000. Another horse was played, and another, until at the end of 3 days, the trio had a profit of $120,000.
There's the figures, gentlemen.
It's amazing. Amazing.
Well, where do we go from here?
Well, I don't know. What do you think, Perry?
You've got me.
Mr. Mitchell?
120,000 is a lot of money.
Yes, indeed.
That's 30,000 apiece.
I know, Mr. Mitchell.
Can I put in my 2 cents worth?
Oh, by all means, Jackson. Please do.
These horses I've been playing weren't exactly stiffs. Naturally, I had to have information.
Of course.
I can just about guarantee you that the information is going to continue.
Really?
I'm expecting a bookmaker up here. He'll have the payoff money with him. Meantime, do a little thinking for a minute and see whether you want to take one more stab.
Very well.
Look, I don't have to do any thinking. My mind is made up.
In which direction, Perry?
I'm for playing one more horse.
Well, that's very sporting. And by Jove, I think I'll string along.
Well, I still say 120,000 is a lot of money.
Oh, come now, Mr. Mitchell. After all, we're gambling with their money.
That's true.
Well, then, why hesitate?
Well, all right. I agree.
Capital.
That's probably the book.
Come in.
Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, come in, Frankie.
Okay.
This is Mr. Perry, Mr. Mitchell, Mr. Barton, Frankie Stevens.
How do you do,
Stevens?
We've been holding a stockholders meeting, Frankie.
Uh-huh.
Just about made up our minds to play the 120 grand back with you.
Oh, just like that, huh?
Oh, what's the matter?
Well, I come here to have a little talk with you about that 120.
Does this mean he's reneging?
Now, look, mister, I don't operate that way. I've got your dough right here in this little bag. But first I got to find out something.
Well?
You guys have been getting a free ride.
How?
Suppose you had lost 120,000. Would I have collected? Well, would I?
Well, that's hardly the
point. It's very much the point, mister. In fact, that's the only way you're going to get your money.
What do you mean?
Show me 120,000. And I mean cash. Then I'll make my payoff.
Now, look, Frankie.
That's my deal, boys. Now get it up.
After the fourth member of the confidence ring, the bookmaker, had departed from the hotel suite, a conference was held. A conference which resulted in the victim, Mr. Mitchell, returning to Chicago accompanied by Perry to negotiate a loan to pay his share of the bookmaker's demands. Now the second act of the swindle has been completed. The victim is primed for the kill. Obtaining $30,000, $30,000 in cash, Mitchell and Perry returned to Newport. Returned to the Surf Hotel. Returned for the final act.
Now, let me see. You've given me your 30,000, Perry.
That's right.
I have a draft here for 60,000, which was sent to me from New York. I'm putting up Mr. Jackson's share, you know.
Yes.
And you have your money, Mr. Mitchell?
Yes, right here.
Splendid. Let me have it, please.
What for?
Perry has agreed to go to the bookmaker's establishment. He'll show him our capital and collect our profits.
Oh, very well.
What about the bet?
How's that?
I thought we agreed that we're going to take a stab at one more horse.
Oh, of course, Mr. Jackson. Of course, it completely slipped my mind.
Perry will still have to bring the dough to the book.
Well, how much are we betting?
Our winnings?
We don't touch any of this money that we're putting up. This credit money?
Of course not, Mr. Mitchell.
What's the horse, Jackson?
Oh, yeah, here, I wrote it out in a slip. You play him to place.
Is that for second?
Yes.
What's the name of the horse?
Why?
Well, shouldn't we know who we're betting on?
Do you know who we were betting on before? Do you know what horses put us 120 G's ahead?
No.
Jackson's right, Mr. Mitchell. He has more than established his honesty to date.
Let me have the money.
Very well. Here you are, Perry.
I'd better be getting over there.
We'll wait for you here. Good luck, old boy, and good hunting. Did they announce any results yet, Mr. Jackson?
No.
Are you sure you're tuned to the right station?
Yeah, we get it any minute now.
You know, this is most exciting. Do you agree, Mr. Mitchell?
Yes, a bit nerve-wracking, too.
Well, I always say a sporting chance is well...
A race at Jamaica, off at 3:21.5. The winner, post 3, Sun Boy.
Is that our horse?
At second, post 11, Victory Ride.
That's us. That's our bet.
For show.
Well, we won?
Yes, sir. We picked him in the right slot, too. We played him to place.
Congratulations, Mr. Jackson. Congratulations.
This is wonderful.
Should pay better than 3-1.
Heavens. We've made a fortune. Come in. Perry, you're just in time.
We won, Mr. Perry. We won our bet. On the level?
Yes.
The horse won?
No, ran second, but that's good enough for us.
Second?
Yep.
You mean it didn't win?
What's the difference? We still collect.
Oh, that's awful.
What's wrong?
Oh, I did a terrible thing, gentlemen.
How do you mean?
I bet on him to win.
You did what?
But I told you, Perry.
I know, but he was 10-1. I figured you've been lucky right along.
Perry, that's disgraceful.
Oh, yes, you haven't heard the whole story.
What do you mean by that?
I bet our credit money, too.
What?
Why, you...
Wait, now keep away.
Jackson, don't. Stop. Perry has a very bad heart. Jackson. Good heavens. Perry, are you all right?
He's unconscious.
Yes. Mr. Mitchell, get a doctor, please. There's one on the second floor.
Second floor?
Yes, hurry.
Very well.
All right, boys. Let's blow.
We momentarily close the Federal Bureau of Investigation file on the confidence ring. We'll return to this case in just a moment. We Americans must think very highly of life insurance because we buy more of it than all the rest of the world put together. 70% of the life insurance now in force on this globe is owned by citizens of the United States. All of which goes to prove that we Americans believe in self-help and self-reliance. Believe in watching out for our futures. Believe in educating our own children and in taking care of our families. Of the large number of Americans who feel that way, 3,200,000 have joined forces as members of the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States. Please take particular note of that word society in the Equitable's name. It means that the Equitable is not a profit-making enterprise, has no stockholders, is entirely owned by its members, that is to say, by its policyholders. Dollars entrusted to the Equitable Society to build security for its members are put to work in ways that benefit the whole country, or invested in homes, farming, and in scores of the key industries on which our national security and prosperity depend. By serving its members, the Equitable Society serves America. And now, back to the file on the confidence ring.
The confidence game has an ancient and dishonorable history. Its existence can be traced back to the very beginning of time. Through the years, through the centuries, the pattern has varied, but one element has always remained: the gullible victim. Mr. Mitchell returned to the hotel suite in Newport, Rhode Island, to find that his erstwhile companions had left, had disappeared along with his $30,000. Stunned and bewildered, he returned to his home in Chicago. After a lapse of several days, after carefully thinking out his entire adventure, he decided to tell the whole story to agents of the FBI.
When I finally located the doctor, I brought him right to the suite. To my amazement, I discovered that everyone was gone.
Including the men who'd been assaulted.
Yes, sir.
What did you do then, Mr. Mitchell?
Well, to tell you the truth, I was too mixed up to do much of anything.
Did you inquire for them at the hotel desk, see if they'd checked out?
Eventually, yes. They hadn't paid their bill. They'd just left the suite and never returned.
I see.
I wound up paying for it myself.
This money you gave them, the $30,000, what were the denominations of the bills?
20s, 50s, and 100s.
Did you by any chance keep a record of the serial numbers?
No, I regret to say I didn't. You see, at the time I just didn't suspect.
I understand.
How did this man who called himself Perry first contact you?
He wrote to me from New York.
Did you keep the letter by any chance?
Yes, I have it on file in my office.
We'd like to see it.
Surely.
How accurately do you think you could describe these men?
Oh, quite well. I'm sure of that.
Then suppose you give us the descriptions. We'll send them to Washington, have them checked in the general appearance file.
The general appearance file is an excellent example of FBI thoroughness. This file consists of photographs and descriptions of approximately 15,000 outstanding criminals. Special agents for the Identification Division checked this file for information on the confidence ring. They removed punch cards of all persons falling into the general classification of the descriptions furnished. They placed these cards in a sorting machine. A machine adjusted to sort and finally select by mechanical means cards bearing descriptions similar to those of the suspects. Within a short time, the machine had done its job. Photographs which bore the same numbers as the cards that had been mechanically selected were sent by airmail special delivery to the Chicago field office.
Can I see you for a minute, Russ?
Yes, come in, Lou.
Right. I've just been with Mr. Mitchell. Had him check over the photographs.
Any results?
Yes, he positively identified all four men.
Good.
He really was up against a pretty strong team. Here, take a look at them.
Very well.
The old boy there, the one who calls himself Sir Richard, is one George Willis, an English confidence man.
I see.
The rest of the gang all have quite impressive records, too.
I received a report from the Providence office this morning. The agents did a check at the Newport Hotel.
They uncover anything?
No, there was no indication as to where the gang had gone.
Well, how about Scotland Yard?
We heard from them late yesterday afternoon. British Farm Equipment Limited is a legitimate company.
How about Sir Richard Barton?
Oh, he was financial director of the company, but he died in 1940.
This gang stayed reasonably close to the facts.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Mitchell gave me that letter he received from the man who called himself Perry.
May I see it?
Surely. Here you are.
Thanks.
Take a look at the letterhead.
British Farm Equipment Limited.
I doubt that it's genuine.
New York address.
Probably a vacant lot.
Yes, but the letter was mailed from New York.
I know.
If this stationery is faked, it might have been printed there, too.
Oh, you're right.
Let's send it on to the New York office and find out.
A slender lead, a letterhead. A letterhead that might have been set up in any print shop in the country. But the letter had been mailed from New York, so agents in that city were given the assignment of checking with every print and stationery shop in the 5 boroughs. It was a slow job, but tedious job. A seemingly endless job, but a job that finally brought results.
Lou,
Yes, Russ.
a teletype just came in from New York.
Oh, on the Mitchell case?
Yes.
What's the story?
That letterhead really paid off.
How do you mean?
Well, first of all, they checked the address.
See where they went?
I believe we have.
Good.
The hotel manager recalled that Renville had done some business with the transportation desk. So the agent checked there and found that Renville had bought 4 railroad tickets.
Well, we better have that train covered.
We don't have to.
Why not?